Today's guest is the guy you call to get into the most exclusive clubs in the world.
One thing that I say as a club promoter, I say this all the time, if you let in dog shit, you're gonna be filled with dog shit. My table last night was stacked. I had the hottest girls in the club, bar none.
After his girlfriend cheated on him, he left his job working in traditional finance and reinvented himself in Miami nightlife.
I wake up in the middle of the night and she's on the couch with a club promoter. Like, I'm with her for 5 years, right? I'm paying for everything, her Lululemon, her yoga, her whatever. That guy gets to party every night of the week and makes no money, but somehow is like just stealing someone's girl.
Today, he's the go-to resource for celebrities, athletes, and crypto millionaires who spend six figures a night to sit at the right table.
Financial capital and social capital are two different spectrums. Financial capital comes from social capital. You walk into a place, people know who you are. That, to me, has way more power than money.
In this episode, we'll investigate how the ultra-rich actually party, reveal the dark side of clubbing in Miami, and explore why Gen Z is killing the nightlife industry.
Women can get anything they want. They can just post an Instagram picture and they get all the validation they want. They used to have to come to the club. The only thing that girls cannot get access to whenever they want on demand is a
Miami promoter Nate. Welcome to the Jack Neel Podcast.
Thanks for having me.
What's the most important moment from your life for us to understand why you do what you do for work?
It was the moment where I realized that financial capital and social capital are two different spectrums. And if you don't have the social capital, you're screwed in life. Financial capital doesn't matter. That's when I kind of realized I need to change my life. Because if I'm going down the path of financial capital, you ignore the social capital piece. Everyone thinks business connections are the most important thing, but the reality is you actually make better business connections in fun areas, fun scenarios than you do in a more corporate setting. Most of the deals are done over a coffee chat or at the club or at someone's house party. They're not done at the dinner table.
What originally made you move to Miami, would you say?
Just better quality of life. I'm from New York. That place is miserable. Like, I think a lot of people don't realize, like, they want to move to New York because they hear all the, oh, it's a city that never sleeps, this, that, and the third. I promise you, Miami doesn't sleep. New York sleeps. The stock market opens at 9:30 every morning, right? People have to sleep. In Miami, you have the smallest but largest concentration of wealth anywhere in the country. And most of it's new money. So new money doesn't act the same way as old money. Old money had to work their ass off to get to where they are. They had to do all sorts of things over years and years and years, generations to get to where they are. But new money, they pretty much snapped their fingers and money appeared. It could be the course sellers. It could be the crypto guys who pumped a meme coin. It could be, guys who started OnlyFans management companies. And, when you have the scalability of using an online platform, income goes vertically.
Right.
And so that's why a lot of the clients that I have are early, mid-20s, multimillionaires. And they don't come from family money. Maybe their parents did okay, but they're not the kind of money that I saw people that I worked with in private equity, for example.
So what did you do, and what were the series of events that led you here? Because you were in a relationship at the time, you were working a job on Wall Street. What was the exact job? What was that relationship like?
Yeah, I worked in private equity at a big private equity firm. I was doing really, really cool work for my age, like huge debt deals, like great M&A transactions. I used to work at a big four accounting firm and I did deal advisory. So that's like buying out companies and selling companies.
Mergers and acquisitions, right?
Correct. Yeah. And that work was very interesting. But when you really think about the grand scheme of like how it helped me build anything that I needed in life, the only thing it did was provided me financial capital. It provided me zero social capital whatsoever. No girl cares. No dude cares. Oh, you worked on a $63 billion merger. Like, no one cares.
When did you realize girls don't care about your work?
When my ex cheated on me with a club promoter. I'm with her for 5 years, right? I'm paying for everything. The entire apartment is paid for, right? Everything is paid for, her Lululemon, her yoga, her whatever, right? But she goes out and she cheats on me with a club promoter. She cheated on my couch. So I actually got laid off, right? So the story is I actually got laid off. And then I wake up in the middle of the night and she's on the couch with a club promoter. And this guy makes like barely $40,000 a year. He's not even a good club promoter. He's just like a club promoter who somehow like ran into her and took her out to somewhere. I don't even know where, but yeah. And so that was the moment where I'm like, what the hell is this guy doing? And how do I live that life? That guy gets to party every night of the week and makes no money, but somehow is like totally cool, like just stealing someone's girl. Like in my mind, I'm told everything should be against that, right? Like no girl should be into that, right? A dude that parties, a dude that probably sleeps around a lot, a dude that doesn't make a lot of money. No girl should be into that. But yet my ex, after 5 years, shit on me with that, you know?
And how'd she meet him?
Through the club. I don't actually know, to be honest with you. I have no idea. Met through the club, whatever. What I always say is at the club, the girls dress their best and act their worst. You don't know a girl's true colors until you see her at the club. It's a dude, like let's just say one of my wealthier clients, right? He'll get a table himself. Maybe he drops 5, 10K for the night, but he's there with 20 girls and they're all some of the prettiest girls in the club. And they all want to be at that section, one, because it's mostly filled with girls. It's a more safe environment for them, right? And then at the same time, they can slut it up with their friends and no one cares, right? Because it's just like a bunch of girls dancing and having a good time, right? And meanwhile, that dude who's like very wealthy is there with 20 girls, If that dude's a cool dude and he's having a good time, like the girls are going to be all over him. Like he doesn't have to say much. The girls all over him, right? So in that scenario, right, it's one dude against 20 girls. In theory, the likeliness that a guy is going to get with a girl 1 to 20 versus 1 to 1, like if it was 10 guys, 10 girls, more of them would pair off, right? But one guy against 20 girls actually results in better results for the dude, where the dude is almost guaranteed to get with one of the girls. Not because he's trying or anything like that. He's just a fun dude who has money. And the girls don't really understand the concept of money. Like they don't understand that that's a $5,000 table. To them, they're just like, oh, it's a bunch of cool people having a good time at the club. He doesn't care about $5,000. It doesn't matter to him, right? And so it makes the perfect layup for, a girl who is trying to have a good night to turn over into the girl getting with the guy, And so if it just happens to be your girl, meaning you're the boyfriend of one of the girls that's out, and it happens to be your girl that night, whoops, there you go, gone, right? And you would think 1 to 1 would actually result in the most likely chance that a girl is going to go home with a guy, but it's not. It's the 1 to 20.
Why?
I think because the girls are all competing for the guy's attention. I didn't know any of this stuff. I thought it was all BS. I back when Dan Bilzerian was like blowing up and like had those crazy Ignite parties or whatever, I used to see all the pictures and the videos. I'm like, dude, that's got to be fake. Like that can't be real. There's no way that that's actually real. But then when I started doing this stuff, and I'm like, wait a second, when you curate the hot girl table and every girl wants to be at the hot girl table, they fight to get in. I don't know if you remember when you were at the club, I'm like literally shooing girls out of the table. Like I'm like, get out. Like you're not at this table, right? At one point, the table got a little bit empty because Soulja Boy was at the artist table. So easy to just jump into the artist table at that point. And so we had a bunch of girls jump into Soulja Boy's table and then get kicked out and wind up back at my table. It was like the most interesting thing, but people underestimate the herd mentality of women because when they all get together, they just like show up someplace or they're just like at someplace. And if you're in that scenario, it's like it's like golden hour for you,
I remember the first time this ever happened to me. I think I was at, what was it called? Doheny Room in Los Angeles. I don't know if you've heard of that place, but it was just like talking to some girls with my friends. They're fairly attractive, tall, wealthy guys. And we were talking to them for like an hour and a half. Like it was a good time. And I think James Harden walked in and I watched as 70 women, no joke, 70 women just flooded him. And there was a rope that was put up and just like there was no girls left on that side of the club anymore. It was James Harden and his friends. And I was like, wow, status really does play a huge role into all this. I want to know about the events though. So you see your girlfriend being unfaithful at your house or your apartment. And what were kind of the next things that happened in your life that led you to Miami? I
literally bought a beater car and I just dipped. Like that was it. The only thing I really cared about that was in my New York apartments was my coral. I have like these beautiful aquariums. So the only thing I really cared about was my coral. I was like, cool, pack up the coral, get it out of here. I don't know how we're going to do it, but we got to get it out of here. So that was it. Everything else, I just left. I don't care. I'm not a materialistic person at all. If you actually look at where I live, a lot of people make fun of it. I make good money, but I still live in this like little shack near Mila in Miami Beach. But just because I like the area, I like my little backyard. Like I don't really need a nice high rise. All my clients have wealthy, like beautiful places that I can just go use. So I don't really need it. And I get free Miami Beach parking pretty much. So that's very useful. But I don't live a very extravagant life. I'm not the guy who's going to go take my money and just go buy like I could buy a really nice car, but I don't care. I drive my little Nissan Sentra. You saw it. You know, I don't really care. My ex was very different from that. She was extremely materialistic. She wanted everything super nice. I remember we fought over a white couch, which is the one that she cheated on me with. It was like this beautiful white couch. And I was like, why are we wasting money on a $7,000 couch? She's like, no, I want this in our apartment. It's going to look so nice, all this crap. She's like, I want this couch. Okay, shut up. Here, you know, and that's kind of like, you know, where I realized like money removes obstacles, but removing obstacles is different from like, you can remove obstacles with social capital, like with your social status as well. And it's a lot easier to remove obstacles with social status than it is with money. And I realized that when I started club promoting, because there's so many wealthy dudes that hit me up for random things that I'm just like, I do have that connection, but why are you coming to me? Like, for example, they want to like cut the line on like a dinner reservation or something. And then they call me and they're like, hey, can you cut the line? And I happen to know the guy that I can pay money to cut the line, but they have unlimited money. So like you would think they would have the access to that. They don't.
Right.
I do. And if I wanted to cut the line ever, I could do it for free, you know? So I found that social capital is much more important than financial capital. That's kind of what I realized for years going up to this exact moment where everything really changed for me. And I said, I need to make a big shift. And I literally just packed up my shit and left. Like that was it. Like it wasn't like, oh, well, maybe I'll move to Miami or maybe I'll move to LA or maybe I'll go to North Carolina. No, it was, I'm moving to Miami. I'm going to do this. This is the biggest nightlife area on the East Coast. The quality of life is way better down there. I've been to Miami multiple times. I was working at a portfolio company that was down in Fort Lauderdale for a long time. So I knew the area. I knew where I wanted to go. I knew some of the clubs, but I didn't really know the extent of nightlife. It was a very easy decision for me. I was like, cool, I'm dipping. And I left.
How does someone actually become a club promoter?
There's more dudes hitting me up to be a club promoter than there are to buy tables. Okay, that's how competitive club promoting is.
Right. Random question really quick. Have you ever looked up if the shampoo you're using can disrupt your hormones? Because if you're like me, you probably didn't know that over 70% of men's grooming products have chemicals that can disrupt your endocrine system or your testosterone levels. Now, I care a lot about my health, but I didn't really think any healthy products could make my hair look good, so that's why I was so glad I met the guys at Based. They gave me their Shower Duo shampoo conditioner, and it's made with plant-based ingredients like peppermint or argan oil, so there's no sulfates, no hormone disruptors, nothing that's gonna mess with your body. And after using it for a while now, genuinely my hair does feel way healthier, like clean and hydrated as opposed to dry and dull. And honestly, I think it looks better too. So if you've been using the same products forever without thinking twice about what's actually in them, make sure to check out Base Body Works. It's a plant-based, all-natural men's grooming brand that actually performs. So if you guys want to try it out, just go to jackneel.com/based and use the code JackNeel at checkout for 20% off your first order. Plus, you get a free toiletry bag when you buy your first set. So again, that is jackneel.com/based, or you can scan the QR code on screen. But anyway, guys, back to the podcast.
And then they're all like, oh, I'll work for free. I'll work for you for free. I'm like, you realize how much of a liability you are to work for me for free? Like, this stuff it's not easy at all. It's sales. And you're selling two different parties on different things. And if you fail one, you screw yourself on the other. If I don't bring the girls, the clients are not going to be happy. If I don't bring the clients, the girls go to another client. And then I don't get them to come back. Right? So you have to have both parties to be really successful at this, and therefore you need a team that you can really trust. But how you become a club promoter, you show up to the club with 10 girls consistently on slow nights, not busy nights, slow nights. So you came for Soulja Boy, that was a mid-tier night. The night before that was Young Thug, that was a busy night. There are club promoters coming with 15, 20 that never pull those numbers, but that's not impressive. On a busy night where tons of girls are trying to go out, like a New Year's, like Central C performing, like a big artist, like it's so easy to fill the club. Like so easy. Good luck doing it on Tuesday. Yesterday at a Tuesday, it was like, I keep telling them to call it 2000th Tuesdays because they play 2000s music for the first like hour and a half and the girls go nuts. But anyway, I had to do a dinner and then I had to do the club, right? And I brought, I think 25 girls to the club on a Tuesday and it's not even busy season yet, right? Like that's impressive. Good luck doing that. If a guy can bring 10 girls to the club consistently on slow days, he should get a job as a club promoter. Like you will get paid. That is hard to do. And promoters, the way it works is on big nights at most clubs, you don't even get paid to bring girls because they don't need them. Like John Summit at Live during Art Basel, they let me have guest list because I had a table. I was able to bring 5 girls in under my name because I sold a $10,000 table or $20,000, whatever it was, table. And other promoters were not able to bring anything. They told them stay home. If you don't have a table, stay home. Right? So you're needed during times of slow periods where they need the club filled, right? During a busy time, it's not necessary. The club promotes itself. John Summit brings its own audience. The only thing that you add value to is that the client wants to go through you because they like your service, they want to chill with you. The amount of times I have clients that are just like, dude, I don't care about the girls, I don't care about anything, I just want to chill with you. Like, let's just do shots. Like that's how you know you're a good club promoter. When they just like, we'll go anywhere with you. I can book them to the Jack Neel Podcast studio and have them sit here and buy a $2,000 table and they would do it. Like, that's how you know you have really good pull as a club promoter. So yeah, bring 10 girls to the club on slow nights. And that's a good way to start and get a list. And then you build up your list over time and you can bring more girls or less girls depending on the night. You get paid a certain amount based on the amount of girls you bring. And then the goal is to get the clients, right? The club doesn't care unless you bring revenue. So the idea is that you start booking clients. That's the most important part. In fact, I would say the thing is most people can't book clients without the girls. So you usually start with the girls and then you use the girls to get you the clients. Because if you're like, let's be real, if you're walking around Brickell with 3 or 4 really attractive girls, you go to Sexy Fish, you go to, I don't know, Gecko, you go to some of these like nicer places and you're with really pretty girls, buy a couple of drinks, whatever, you're going to talk to people and dudes are going to notice you and they're going to be like, oh, who's that guy with these 4 beautiful girls? I want to talk to him because that attractive girls bring status. But what you find is that social media killed the nightclub. So it's been a lot more difficult to get girls to come out than from what I hear before COVID. And so, yeah, club promoting is extremely competitive and it's very, very, very hard. But yeah, that's kind of how you start. You either bring clients that are paying, but that's hard to do. So you bring girls. That's still hard to do, but it's easier.
I want to break down why social media killed the nightclub scene. But first, I just want to ask, for people still confused at this point about what exactly a promoter is, I would say the base of this is just you promote the clubs, you promote events, you promote people sometimes, parties. But if I meet you and I say, I want to have a great time in Miami this weekend, how do you pitch yourself to me?
I'd want to know, think of yourself, a club promoter should be considered like a fun consultant, okay? You want to go have fun. The club promoter's job is to make sure you have the best experience based on what you like, right? So that's why every club promoter is 1099. They're independent contractors with the clubs because I can work at every single club. Every club promoter can work at every single club. Now, there are certain promoters who sort of reside at one club over another. And the reason why is because that's where they get the most of their clients. So that's one thing. But you can always set up an experience at another club and get paid for it. You always can because every club wants your money and your job is to be the fun consultant. So you're Jack Neel, you like hip hop music, you're 24, you want to socialize with a bunch of other people that may or may not be famous, but more influential type people. Great. I know exactly what club to book you at. I'm going to book you at Vendome on whatever day. I have these 3 clients that are coming that are big spenders and you might be able to get along with them. Like we had the main devs at Pump Fun were at the table next to you, right? The guys you were at the table with were a bunch of construction dudes is what it is. Fresh and
The
Fit
Pump
came.
Fund guys were next to
Yeah, that was the Italian guys next to us. That's why they did a 20K table. Yeah. So, right. So, like, that's what
I've been trying to meet them for a while. That's
There
interesting.
you go.
But
You missed that out. Right. So, like, I know what type of person you are. I know what type of dudes you want to network with. And then I also know what type of girls you want. If you're 24, you're not going to want 28, 29-year-old girls. I'm not going to put you at Casa Nios. You know what I mean? So you're the fun consultant. Now, if a guy who's in his 30s comes to me, hey, I run a real estate development firm. I want to connect with architects, all these different types of people, investment bankers, whatever. Okay, cool. I'm not going to put them at Vendome. That's not a good place to put them. Maybe Gecko Lounge would be good. Castaneos is good. Palm Tree Club is good. Live could be good depending on what the artist is that night, right? So I'm a fun consultant. That's the guys who want to spend money. Where do I tell them to spend their money to have the best time, the best dollar to fun experience, right?
Do you work with travel concierge? And like, can you kind of explain the difference between that job versus your job? Because we had a girl in the podcast, you've probably seen her on Instagram, Travel with Livy, and she basically talked about how she books people at these places, and I'm guessing she works with promoters to get certain people in certain rooms, and like, I don't know, she would do F1 and like make sure everyone had all their accommodations. Like, do you know what that title is?
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny. So Travel with Livy was actually at Live with me probably about a month ago. It was a big weekend. I remember that. And one of the heads of Live, his name's Adam, sort of introduced me, but then she was like, wait, I know who you are already. It was a very funny scenario. But yeah, so there's different, the reason why I also chose Miami is because there's a lot of different ways you can make money in the fun consultant space.
Right.
One of them is that travel concierge thing, right? So there are certain promoters who don't reside at a club at all. Instead, they just pick really wealthy clients and they work exclusively with 2 or 3 really big clients and they do everything for them. So it could be like traveling to Aspen. They'll set up everything at Aspen. They have connections at every single place, right? I don't really like to travel. So for me, that doesn't really make sense. But for Travel with Livy, right, if there's a big event, there's big spenders coming. Like for Art Basel, for New Year's, for F1, you see promoters that are in Miami that you've never seen before. They just only show up for these big, big, big events. And then they take care of everything for their clients for those really big events. And that's it. That's all they do. And I will not be able to compete with those guys. They might come to me for help, but I'll never be in that position just because that's not what I do. I'm more residual, consistent stuff, which is like every day at the club. And these are what I do. And I have smaller ticket clients, but they rack up a lot. I can do a lot of volume. Same thing with the girls, right? There are some promoters who bring 5 to 7 absolute superstar, rock star, beautiful models out. They're usually not that fun, but that's what they bring out. And then there's me who brings 40, 50 girls to the club, more volume, right? And I bring a lot of the fun girls like that, beautiful girl from Michigan that came down for a week to spend with her girls or whatever. And now she wants to have a good time. So she comes to the club, right? And then she happens to meet some wealthy people and one thing leads to the next. And pretty soon she's moving down here, right? That's a typical story of like a really attractive girl that comes out with me. Travel with Livy doesn't have that. That's a completely different thing, right? Now I could go into that. I have clients that are big enough that would do that. I have some clients from Marbella, Spain that want to fly me out and like want me to do everything for them in Spain, right? But that's just not the niche that I decided to pick. There's also a different type of club promoter niche where it's ticketed events, these huge ticketed events. So I'm doing one with SD Kid during Miami Music Week. It's the only big hip hop event. So that's actually that's my event, right? So, but that's big ticket, right? So I'm running VIP. I do all the tables and all the stuff like that. But then there's other promoters who just sell tickets. So they're going to fill the room with ticket sales. That's what they're going to do. They're going to make a crap ton of money doing it, right? So that's a different type of event where you do one-time events, but they're big ticket sales. It's a different type of promoter, right? Then there's like a third type of promoter where they're setting up interactions. So the entire thing is like, how do I meet the type of people that I want to meet? So Blush Dating App does the matchmaking service. Like that's literally the equivalent of like what the setup promoters are. And they're there mostly for like corporate events. They do like dating, they do stuff like that, like matchmaking or whatever. And they get paid again with one-on-one with clients and they set them up with the type of people that they want to get to meet. So you have like different types of promoters that do different things. You have yacht promoters who all they do is yacht parties. Their entire skew is just, tie up 5 different boats, get a bunch of people to pay for it, and then just do one giant yacht party. So, and there's ways to make money in everything under the sun. It's super, super interesting. There's guys who do private jets. They do trip things where they set up like an entire event in like Bimini, for example, and people fly out there and then the whole entire event's taken care of, festival, whatever. There's a lot of different types of club promoters, but basically a club promoter is a fun consultant. That's what it is.
And these guys reaching out to you that are interested in being promoters, what do you think most people misunderstand about how hard it is to be a promoter? And why do you think you were able to stand out?
Yeah, so I think the bottom tier of promoters is club promoters. Like my type of promoter is the bottom tier. And the reason why it's the bottom tier is because it's the lowest barrier to entry, where you just have to bring girls to the club and then you get paid, right? And as long as they're attractive enough to get in, you're paid, right? So that's a very low barrier to entry to start making money, but it's still really freaking hard. Like it's still hard to get 7 girls, 10 girls to the club on a Tuesday. Good luck. Most promoters can't do it. Most promoters who actually work can't do it. I see some that they don't even show up. I only have 3 girls tonight. Okay. They're not coming out because they're not going to get paid. Like it's crazy. If you want to get into a different type of tier, what I would recommend if you're in like college, go into those big ticketed events. Colleges are great for ticketed events. You bring 2 or 3 frats out and then you fill the room with some good DJs from the school. You can run your own ticketed event. You could do $2-3 grand a night just from one of those ticketed events, and you just do one a month and you're making a good income.
What do you think made you stand out specifically on social media and promoting in general?
Because my systems are really goddamn good. My lead funnel and social media, so social media broke the club, but I broke it for club promoting. I made that funnel so strong. You ever come to the club with me, all the really attractive girls are at my section, whether I know them or not. I have no idea who they are. I don't even book them. My assistant books them. My partner books them. He knows who they are. I don't even know who they are.
Why did you see an opportunity on social media to like talk about promoting in general?
I'm really good at finding these nascent niches and blowing them up. So I did it in aquariums. I did it in tech. I did it in accounting. I did it in a bunch of different places.
So you have a social media background?
Yeah. I mean, I've done 7 different niches for this stuff. The thing was I wasn't able to convert it to dollars because everything has another barrier before conversion that I found, right? The only one that's like kind of direct is TikTok Shop. But I've never actually done successfully TikTok Shop, so I shouldn't even talk about it. But most things where you are converting off of a social media platform, you have several different levels of the sales cycle. And what I found is that there's enough demand in Miami for people coming down naturally that it creates its own demand where I don't have to push the sales cycle that hard. They want to come to me because they want their questions answered. I'm the fun consultant and they trust me, right? And then pretty girls don't want to be around ugly girls.
Quick question. Do you ever get stressed out by how many software subscriptions you're using to run your business? Because if you're like me, you're probably doing email marketing on one platform, building your website on another, calendar appointments, CRM somewhere else, and you're spending thousands of dollars a month on all these tools and you can't really keep track of everything. And that's why our team started using High Level. It's basically an operating system for your entire business. You can keep track of leads and automated emails and text, build landing pages, and process all of your payments on one platform for $97 a month. So if you want to stop stressing yourself out by paying for 8 different subscriptions, just go to jackneel.com/highlevel or scan the QR code on screen. Again, that is jackneel.com/highlevel if you want to run your entire business with one software. But anyway, guys, back to the podcast.
Like they just don't. Like the amount of times that I have had a bad night and I bring maybe 5 to 7 really attractive girls out and the rest are like, eh. And the attractive girls are like, why am I at the ugly girl table? And I have to go move girls around. I have to go grab the hottest girls from other club promoters and bring them all together and put them on one table so they stop complaining. Creating that experience for a girl is like, for them, that's like top tier because women get validation from social media like you've never seen before. But when they get validation in the club because they're at the hot girl table, there's a different level of dopamine there that they've never experienced before because there's no real life events where that happens anymore. So basically, I kind of understood that that's the case. When I was working for free, I worked for free under another club promoter. I would bring 30, 40 girls out a night and certain girls he would put at certain tables. I'm like, why do you do that? And then I started realizing, I'm like, oh, he's stacking the table. I was like, oh, that's fucking genius. And then I remember there was a girl who's very famous on social media, and she came to me and she's like, can you move me over there? Like, there's too many girls here, blah, 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 whatever. And then I'm like, yeah. And then I move her and I'm like, I know why she wants to be moved. She doesn't want to feel like a pleb, like all the other girls that are here that are all mid and like not famous on social media. So she wants to level up, right? And then when the other girls see that she's up there, now they want more demand to go into that area. And it just creates this like wild, like mind fuck inside the club. And for some reason, girls get like high off that shit. They're like high off that shit that they want to be at the hot girl table. I mean, you saw it. It was like the border of Mexico. They're just jumping over the freaking border. They're like, I want to be at that section. I want to be at that section. You saw the section with the pump fun guys. I mean, you'd never seen anything like it.
That's so fascinating. So break this down for me just from the beginning of why do you think social media killed the club?
Social media killed the club because you removed the middleman, like massively removed the middleman. So from what I understood before COVID, probably around the 2015-16 era, there was model houses. So basically all these modeling agencies would be down in Miami and all these model girls would need to do all these shoots and whatever, and they need to stay somewhere, right? So club promoters would host model houses and they would buy out a spot. You know, they'd put 6 to 10 girls in there, all models, stunning models from all over the world in this place. And they would take them out with them every single night. So they'd get paid for the girls that are staying at their house. In return, they know what their money, the money that they're going to make off that. And then getting clients is easy because you have a ton of models with you, right? So that's kind of how things used to work. You'd have these model houses, you'd have 6 to 10 really attractive girls that you'd have, and they would bring out the girls every single night. Easy club fill. They wouldn't have to worry. It was consistent. And then all the wealthy men would want to be with models. So they would come out to the club. And the only way you can actually book clubs is through a club promoter. There wasn't like social media where, oh, this artist is performing there. You didn't know unless you knew, right? So the power was in the club promoters at that point in time. When social media came out, you remove all the middleman and you can just post flyers. So now someone can just go directly to the club. Hey, you want to book a table for Young Thug? They're going to just go on the website and book the damn table. They don't need a club promoter, right? What a lot of people don't realize though is that it's the same price as if you used a club promoter, and the club promoter will take care of you at the club. Because club promoters have become more like VIP hosts now, where they don't just bring you to the club. They have to actually take care of you at the club, where they're making sure your drinks are good. They're making sure the bottle girl is getting everything you need. The guys you were at, they wanted to throw singles. So I had to get a girl to get singles to the guy, right? The table that I was at, right? The guys wanted me doing shots with all the girls, right? They wanted me, like, I was pouring drinks in girls' mouths, like wild shit like that, right? Like that is me making the party, making the experience.
Right.
And so as a club promoter, you have to do all that stuff on top of getting them to the club, on top of getting the girls to the club. And because the middleman is wiped out, it's a lot harder to do it. Girls want validation. They can just post an Instagram picture and they get all the validation they want. They used to have to come to the club.
So break that down for me. Psychologically speaking, why do women go to the club today? Because you hear a word like validation and people assume it's from men.
Yeah.
But that's not really the case.
No, women too. I think why girls come to the club, there's 3 main reasons. One is to see an artist they want to see, the John Summits, the Soulja Boy, whoever they want to see, right? I don't really get a lot of girls that want to do that. I'll be honest. Most of my girls don't fall in that category. Most club promoters, the only way they're able to get enough girls is by using the artist. There are a lot of club promoters who lie and will say that there's going to be an artist at the club when there's not. And because the artist comes on at 3:30, they just assume that it's accurate. And most girls get tired by 3:30 and they just go home, right? So, and then that promoter clocks that girl, right? So that's option 1. They come for the artist. Option 2 is they come out to have a really good time with their friends. They want to have a fucking blast in Miami. So they come out and they have to do the clubs. And who are they going to go with for the club? Are they going to go with the guy who has the shitty section or the guy who has the really good section? Probably the guy with the good section if they're attractive, right? So that's number 2. Number 3 is for networking. So some of the girls come out to meet very wealthy spenders, to meet influencers, to get in the right crowds. And they want that experience, so they come to the club sort of like clout chasers. So I get a lot of 2 and 3, the ones who are clout chasers and also the ones that come to have a really good time. And that's generally what I see. There are some promoters who specialize in clout chasers. Like, if you ever see really, really, really hot girls out with a club promoter, chances are she's probably one of those clout chaser gold digger girls who literally is looking for a sugar daddy. And you'll typically find them at Mila, Casamigos, Palm Tree Club, Mary Lou's now, it's a new one, Selva, Amazonico, like those really fancy places. That's where you're going to see the 22, 23-year-old girl who is there just to find a sugar daddy. And usually she's got one club promoter who has hooked her up with plenty of sugar daddies and is going to keep doing that. And that club promoter will keep finding these sugar daddy guys because these sugar daddy guys love these type of girls who they can just throw money at and get whatever they want.
My thing is when I see guys go to the club, they're usually either trying to meet women or they're trying to film how cool they are. Like if they bought a table, it's like film this bottle, look at this sign, etc. Like what do you see women filming at the club?
Usually it's them slutting up with their friends or they're taking pictures at the club.
With girls.
Yeah, with girls.
So there's like some level of perceived status that they're trying to get by being with other attractive women or other famous women.
Bingo.
And then how do you appeal to that environment with social media?
I have the hottest girls. Don't hit me up if you're ugly. Like all the ugly girls hate me. All the really attractive girls are like, oh my God, you're so right. I post a video, like Arteen's another big club promoter. He'll post a video. It's like, eat your salad, you're fat. And girls will literally swipe up and go, oh my God, I love you. You're my spirit animal, all this shit. Cause they just like, they don't want to be around ugly girls. They don't. Because ugly girls are a liability everywhere, right? They're just a liability, you know? If you're ugly, but you make money as a girl, that's great. But dude's not going to want you. Like just the reality. Dudes go for looks. That's it. Kind of fucked up, but it's true. I mean, how do I know that? Because I bring really hot girls to the club and every dude is trying to talk to them. I leave them for 3 seconds. They go to the bathroom, 5 dudes on them. I have to have security walk my table girls to the bathroom. That's how bad it's been. They walk outside the club. Dude, I'm trying to do an after party with my clients and we wait outside for the Uber for 2 minutes. I got to juggle 15 girls, right? I can't keep them all together. And dudes just swarm us. Swarm us. I think these girls, that level of validation in person is like for whatever it signals in their brain, they love that. They love that. They love seeing like dudes like trying for them.
So essentially the middleman, women, like attractive women used to go to the club previously because there would be like these modeling agencies that would stay in Miami. And then they would be...
Same 3 reasons. Artists, networking, fun. That's why they would go out, right? So if you're a model girl and you're here from another country or whatever, and you're staying in Miami to go model, and you get invited to the club, you want to go because that's where you're going to find other wealthy, influential people at the club. Right? That's where you're going to have a lot of fun. That's where you can see artists and things like that where other people can't in a sort of more private setting.
So today with social media, they can just network with them anyways?
Correct. Right. Like I know a lot of wealthy dudes that they have VAs just reach out to hot girls and invite them to crazy shit.
Right.
That's it. You don't need a club promoter if you're going direct. Now,
so the way that you've kind of gone about this is you've realized that women like to be around other attractive women and other famous people. You've built this social media brand, and that's how you've gotten people into your ecosystem to kind of revive the club in some way.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call it reviving the club. I would call it making a winning experience and doing it at a scale where it's every single night, right? Replicable stuff. Every single day, somebody wants to spend money. Every single day. Doesn't matter what day of the week. Doesn't matter what season. Every day, somebody is trying to come out and spend money and have a good time. And I have the best section with the best girls to do that. Simple. Because my girls are not, like, if I only had clout chasers, the club will look like this. With really hot girls, they just stand there like this. That's what those clout chasers do. They don't dance with you. They don't talk to you. They want nothing to do with you. And then you offer them money and then they open their mouth. Those are those clout chaser type girls. The girls that are there just for the artist, as soon as the artist leaves, all the girls dip. Gone. Table empty. Right? But if you notice, my section didn't have that problem at all. They went to the artist section because they're like, ooh, what is this? Most of these girls not even old enough to know Kiss Me Through the Phone, like, or Soulja Boy, whatever, Crank That. They don't even know it, but they're just curious because they're like, oh, fuck, I've never seen an artist before. But it's funny. Soulja Boy left the club with no girls. 10 dudes and no girls. My clients walked out with the entire fucking mob of girls that night. And it's just funny because it's like, wait a second, shouldn't they be going with the artist? The artist invite them to the after party. Soulja Boy got several of my girls' numbers and none of them went to his after party.
How do you make a fun environment for women?
There's a lot of different things. I think like a lot of girls are, I don't have my sack on me, but usually I bring the lollipops out. I do just stupid shit at the club. Like I'll give an example. Yesterday, one of the girls dressed, she almost looked like a Flintstone outfit. And then her friend also dressed kind of similar to a Flintstone outfit. So I was like, all right,
like
cool.
a caveman?
Yeah, it was really funny. Like they looked hot, but it was just like, why are you dressed like fucking the Flintstones, right? And anyway, we made this joke. I kept going, Ooga Booga. Ooga Booga. And then pretty soon she became Ooga and the other one became Booga. And then we got a sign that was like Ooga Booga and we put them on the freaking, the thing at the club. And then, ironically, someone else's birthday. So it was Ooga Booga, happy birthday, Lana, or something like that. It was so funny. And the thing came out, I'm pouring shots in all the girls' mouths. I'm throwing lollipops and shit. Like those moments, like girls remember that shit. You know what I mean? Like they're just like, they'll never forget that moment.
What do you think it is about you though that like leaves you able to have fun with them? Because you see some guys that, I don't know, they talk so much shit about women. They think they're stupid. They don't want to speak to them at all. Really, they just kind of are more interested in like romantic relationships. But like you obviously have like a fun time and they trust you as a guy that like doesn't have ulterior motives with them. You know what I mean?
So I would say this, like one thing is the ratio, right? When I'm bringing 20 girls out a night, they're not really that scared because I have 20 bad bitches with me. So that's number one. Another thing is I know that I'm really killing it when attractive girls come out by themselves with me. By themselves. Think about that. You're going out with a dude by yourself who you've never met before, but you trust because of the experience that you're going to have a good time, and they always do. Right? Like that builds tremendous trust. When
most guys don't realize this. They don't realize that like asking a girl at a first date just one-on-one is like kind of hard to get.
Very hard. Very hard.
Because like from a woman's perspective, it's like, why would I go out by myself with some guy I've never met? Why would I get in his car? Why would I take his Uber that he's sending me? Like,
So the way I think about this is college parties, right? Let's just use college parties as an example. All these girls go to a freaking dive bar or a shitty frat house and they have the time of their life. The club is beautiful and the DJ is way better and there's free alcohol and all this stuff, but yet girls at the club are miserable. Why is that? Let's just think about why is that? Maybe it's because nobody's creating the experience, a memorable experience, those little tiny moments that rack up over time that you'll never forget for the rest of your life. Like that experience that I created at the club where I have these really hot girls in the section, I'm shooing uglier girls away. Girls remember that shit. They're just like, that is the funniest shit I've ever seen. You know what I mean? Like for them, they're going to go back to their hometown or whatever. And they'll be like, yo, I went out with promoter Nate and he was not kidding. They literally had security at our table kicking girls out. I've never seen anything like that. I never felt like a hotter girl. You know what I mean? But they say it in their girl language, however the hell they say it. It's things like, you know, me pulling out the lollipops and giving it to them. I have girls that have never seen lollipops. They don't really understand it. And then I start handing it out and then they're like, I want one too. Like people know when I'm at the club because they see the lollipops. Oh, Nate's here. There's one of the lollipop. You know, they know which girls are mine. You know? So like that's another thing. What's another one? Oh, I have this stupid thing where I'll take ice out of the bin and I'll put it in the girl's hand and see what she does with it. And like everyone's looking like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And then the girl's like, what do I do with this? And it's like burning her hand because it's so cold. You know, shit like that. Like they're just like, what the fuck? Like they have no idea. But random things like that make the club experience really interesting. Social media also killed the club because girls' attention spans like this, right? That like they have zero attention span. They get bored so fast if you don't keep it interesting. And it's not just the alcohol. I have girls that come out with me that don't even drink, but they just love the experience. They love meeting different girls. They love, you know, connecting and stuff. And a lot of these girls, like they make their own money. They don't really need to be there because it's free. So you have to use it to network. I had these two TikTok famous girls that came out with me one time, but they didn't know each other. And I introduced them to each other. And then now they're best friends. They go live together every week. You know, like they're going to make a lot of money from that because they came to the club with me. And guess what? They're going to go tell all their other TikTok friends to come out with me. You know, also because I book a lot of streamers. They all want to be on stream. Like that's another one that's really good. Again, fun consultant, right? That's what I am. I'm the fun consultant.
And a big part of fun seems to be about like what variables you can adjust in this environment to make it interesting. You know, it's
How
not
do I
like
make the
it's
party?
not the things you're saying to them.
Right.
It's the things you're
It's not
interacting
even the
with that are
venue.
here. You know.
So here's another one. So Live. So I'm a big fan of Live. Dave Grutman's a good friend of mine. But it's not my main club. And the reason why is because I can't get away with controlling the crowd there. It's very hard for me to control the environment there because Live is so massive and it is what it is, right? Live is exactly what you pay for. You go there for a club experience. It is the most club of all Miami clubs. But for my audience, it doesn't really work. The clout chasers love Live. Those like really hot girls that want to meet like sugar daddies and stuff, they love Live because Live is a kind of like more corporate, like safer environment, less wild shit happens at Live. So they put those girls in clusters and the only people in clusters are, super famous people. So they're, that's where the girls want to be. The girls that come out with me are more fun. They want to have more fun. So they come with me to a place like Vendome, and Vendome, I can just do whatever the fuck I want. I can put shit on the screen. I could pop bottles of champagne. I could put girls in the artist section. I could, I have the owners that are usually right behind me, so I can introduce them to the owners. I know all the promoters that work there. I know who their clients are, so I know who to introduce them to, like which tables they want to go to. If I have a girl who's French, I know the French promoter who's got all the French girls to introduce her to the French girl. Like you can't do that shit at Live. It's too big. It's too rigid. If I wanted to get a birthday sign at Live, I don't know, like it'd be very hard to make that happen. There's no screen there to put girls up on. The DJ, you can't just request a song with the DJ. I can go right in the DJ booth at Vendome. Yo, dog, play this for me. I can make the environment much more at Vendome, and that's why that club has become more of my home than Live. Do I book a shit ton for Live? Absolutely. The guy who's in his mid-30s, gonna love Live. It's gonna be great for them. They're not gonna really like Vendome. Vendome is a much more young, more fun, more crazy audience. So
what kinds of people do you hope never text you to go to the club?
The guys who are basically like, I need the hottest girls at my section. I'm gonna do a 2K min. It's like, what? Like a 2K min section? Are you kidding me? And then they're like, oh, I want all the best girls. It's like, bro, reality check, my guy. It's like, okay. Don't go to Miami, go somewhere else, because Miami, you're going to spend way over budget, because when you're having a good time, you just spend. You don't even realize how quick the tab goes up. You just spend. So if you don't have money like that, where $10,000 is going to put a dent in your account, don't come to Miami. It's not worth it. And I need guys who don't care about that money because they're not expecting things. And the guys who aren't expecting things are the ones who have the best time. I have a client who spends like almost $8K a week with me. And every single weekend, you get a totally different bag of whatever the fuck's going to happen. Some nights are rock star, amazing, super fun night, one of the best nights of my life. And some nights are like, that was kind of okay. But he can drop $8,000 a week to experience both,
right,
up and down. And it doesn't matter if he has one good or one bad. To him, it's like, this is awesome, regardless.
So those are ideal guys. Yeah. What are the girls you reject at the club?
Oh, yeah, you're fat, you're ugly, you're annoying. I don't want you at my table. I have some girls that they're really attractive. They come out with me and they're just annoying. I had one set of girls, they came out with me super, super, super hot, but just very stupid and very annoying. And basically at any chance they get, they would leave the table because they want to flirt with dudes. And they would just like talk to the club promoters. They went home with another club promoter at another point. They would just like walk their way around the club and just like flirt with dudes. And it's just like, bro, go to a college bar for that shit. Go somewhere else. Like at the club, like people stay at their table. They have a really good time at their table. They make friends with all the girls at their table. They use it as an experience for them. They leave Miami going, I had the best time of my fucking life. Not, I met this guy and he's so hot and he's a club promoter. It's like, no girl ever will tell that to their kids. You know what I mean? So those type of girls are just like really, really annoying. And I don't want to deal with them. So she's never coming out with me again. Go with another promoter. I don't want you on my list. And she's really hot, so she'll get in with another promoter. But it doesn't look good for my clients when like you're two hot girls at my table and you're just going around flirting with every single dude, trying to bring them shots out of the table, like bringing them to our section. Like, what are you doing? Like, that's not how this works. That dude's not spending.
When you go out with your girls, do you give them like a talk beforehand?
No, I don't have to because it's kind of known. Like, you just show up to the club. I'm bringing you to the best section if you're really hot Be happy that you're at the best section. Have a great time. Like, fuck it. And then I get everybody lit, the whole section. But she doesn't want to get lit. She'd rather just go flirt with dudes. Okay, go. You know what I mean? Like if my table was miserable and it was super boring and everybody at the table was terrible and it wasn't stacked with hot girls and other dudes were like coming in and like trying to flirt and be weird and shit and ruining my table, I could see, okay, that's why she's leaving. The experience sucked. I get it. But when the experience is great and her table was fucking stacked, baddies everywhere. I had Vanna from Long Island there. I think you saw that other night. She comes out with me every once in a while.
Someone told me that she was there.
Yeah, she was at my table.
I'm not a big Love Island guy, but
I had another girl,
that's pretty cool.
Really huge OnlyFans girl that was with us too the same night. We had a stacked section, and these two girls still wanted to go around and flirt with dudes. It's like, what are you doing? Like, if it was an issue of like, I need more space, okay, cool. I will shift girls over. I'll make a space for you. If it was an issue of, oh, I need more alcohol, plenty of alcohol in the bin. Go for it. You know, they're spending $20K. You have no shortage of alcohol at all. Is it like, you don't like the music? Okay, fine. Nothing I can do about that. Go to another club. I can't change the DJ and have him play different music. But that was not the case. The case was I wanted to flirt with dudes. And I'm not able to flirt with dudes at this section. So I'm going to go elsewhere. It's like, okay, if that's what you want, cool. Don't come to a club where it's 80% women. You know, like most girls come to the club. I have girls that complain that the ratio isn't good enough at some of my tables where I have like 6 guys at a table because they all came down or whatever. They book a table, 6 guys, and then 6 guys and like 15 girls. And they're like, dude, the ratio sucks. I need more girls.
Girls complain about the ratio?
Oh, yeah. All the time. All the time. If I ever, that's another one too. A lot of people think, oh, I'm going to come down with my bachelor party and they're going to bring like 10 dudes and they're going to fill the section and I'm going to fill it with girls. It's like, dude, 15 girls, 10 guys in a big section at Vendome. The girls are going to be miserable.
Right.
Like you need 2 sections. Get 2 sections, spend extra money. I'll fill 30, 40 girls in there. And then the girls will be happy and you'll have prettier girls that way. Because the really hot girls want to stay with other hot girls. Like the safety net of hot girls being with hot girls is like unbelievable. That mob is insane.
Does this lead into promoter math? Or is this?
Yes. Promoter math.
Explain this to me.
Okay. Promoter math is this. I take 1 girl on a date. How much do I spend? I take 2 girls on a date. How much do I spend? I take 10 girls on a date. How much do I get paid? That's promoter math.
Right.
Is that not hilarious?
Break that down for me. So let's assume the first one is $200. The second one is $200. 10 girls will probably cost you $2,000 to go on a date with. And then how much do you get paid for 10 girls? How much do I get paid?
That's what I'm saying. I get paid to bring these girls out. So, for example, I have this one restaurant that I do. I get paid literally, it's called a flat. I get paid a flat to bring 30 girls to the restaurant. So I bring 30 girls, I get paid $500. All my girls get free dinner, they get free alcohol, they get free bottle service, everything they want. I get paid $500 to do it. Why would I take 1 girl on a date when I can take 10 and get paid?
Right.
So at this particular restaurant where I get paid to bring girls, I mean, there's a few that actually do it. I just only do it with this one for right now. At this particular restaurant, I also get paid to bring girls bowling. Celebrity bowling.
You do?
Dude, I filled the bowling out with 40 girls the first time we did it. The second time I said, we're going to back up. Let's only bring like 15 or 20. So I brought like 20. And then this third time I was like, all right, we're going to try and ramp it up again. So I brought like 35.
Is it safe to assume that any event with a bunch of girls that are models at it is ran by promoters?
Yes. There's promoters at everything. You just don't even realize. Yeah.
And like, would you even suggest that some of these social media guys that have all these girls around them use promoters as well?
100%. Streamers pay me all the time to put girls on their stream. All the time.
That's interesting.
Because think about it, right? It removes a barrier of annoyance, right? There's a lot of trust that goes in on both parties, right? Really attractive girls get hit up by every dude under the sun. You're leveraging a piece of my social capital to get them to show up a place, right? It's at the point now where it's easier for me to fill 30 girls than it is for me to fill 5. Because 30 girls, someone's going to be happy with one of the girls. I don't know what girl is which dude's type. I don't know who likes who. I don't know who's going to get along. But if I bring 30 girls, guaranteed someone's going to get along.
What's the most amount of women you've brought to a club?
I split because I fill multiple clubs a night and on some nights. So I will fill, 2, potentially 3 clubs a night with girls. So most girls I've moved on a particular night, close to 200 girls, but split up between multiple venues. So
this is like a legitimate business operation of like your personal brand plus the connections you make, plus distributing all these people in all these different places.
Correct.
It's like this isn't just typical club promoter that people think of in the 2000s that like has like 6 girls that hang out with him all the time.
That's the model house type.
Right.
It doesn't exist anymore.
Huh.
Because you don't need it. So all those models go direct to the brands. They don't need to come to Miami to do shoots anymore. You can do it wherever the fuck you want.
What's the most amount of money you've made in a night from promoting?
Oh, I gotta think about that. That's tough. So there was one night where I did, I booked 2 yachts, 2 different clients side by side. And then from there, I did party bus to the club. And then both those guys got 15K tables. So that's 30K at the club. Then I got paid my flat from that club. I got paid flat from another club. I also booked 4 other clients. I remember I booked, I think, close to around $60,000 to $70,000 in one night I booked. I remember that was one crazy night. And then on top of that, I booked the yachts. So I probably made close to 15 grand that night. Like that wasn't like Art Basel or New Year's or anything. It was like a random night.
What's the most amount of money a client has spent for booking a table? Or what's the most amount of money a client has spent with you in a night?
The thing is, a lot of my clients are recurring. So some nights they spend a lot, some nights they don't spend that much. And then they just spend a very often with me, if that makes any sense. So I have 2 or 3 clients that are doing $100,000 tabs with me at this point, $100,000 to $300,000 tabs on how much they've spent with me.
Would you say the wealthiest clients spend the most? Or is there like a sweet spot?
Yeah, for sure. I would say the clients that have more money like definitely spend more because the thing is, like I said, you don't know until you go out with me. Once you come out with me, like Vanna, for example, she would not step foot in Vendome. She's like, it's too ghetto, it's too ratchet, all this stuff. Then she comes to my table and she's like, whoa. So like, this was actually one of the best nights of my life. A lot of those clients typically have one of those those club promoters that bring just like 4 or 5 models out. But then their bill is like $15,000 at the end of the night, right? They can come out with me and spend 5, 10K, and have 3 times the better experience. Right? It's because I set it all up that way and I have the volume of girls and I'm not in that old way of promoting where I bring 5 to 10 models out a night. I bring 30, 40 really hot girls out. Are they models? No. Are some of them OnlyFans girls? Sure. Some of them are, Ivy League educated. Some of them are, Latin from Colombia. Some of them are, you get a skew of different types of girls. But when you have that many, it's very easy to find one that you like. A lot of the clients that I bring out, they're like, it's almost like gambling to them where they're like, ooh, I spend this amount of money and then I get to experience this. What's it going to be tonight? What are we pulling out tonight? Because I get all the traveler girls. And most of these girls are not overexposed to money. Like I said, I don't really get these clout chaser girls that much. So they're not overexposed to money where like they don't understand that table costs $7 grand. They have no idea. They have no idea that my clients have stupid amounts of money. They don't. And in fact, what's really funny is some of my clients will pay me to set up dinners. So more promoter math, right? Promoter math, I bring 6 girls out to a dinner with one of my clients. I get paid to do it. I get a free dinner. It's amazing. And then I tell all the girls that the dinner's comped, that the restaurant comped the dinner. It's a promoter dinner. And then all the girls think that the guy didn't even pay for it. He thought the restaurant did the promoter dinner because they're pretty. And then
I think you just exposed the secret.
And then nobody knows that guy's a multimillionaire.
Right.
But these girls aren't. What I found was I used to lie and do that shit with some of the girls, but then they catch on and they're like, oh, fuck.
Every woman that I've ever spoken to has said, oh, the restaurant just pays for it.
Yeah.
And they also say, so I had my friend with me. He does a podcast as well. It was his first time in Miami at clubs. And his friend invited us to Mary Lou's. And I was like, yo, bro, like, does she have a table? Like, we're like 2 guys. And he's like, what do you mean? Like, I think we'll just like go in. And we get there and the girl is so confused. She's like, wait, why aren't you able to like get inside? Like my friend can come inside, right? And it's so interesting how these dynamics work where the girls at the club don't even know that guys had to pay to be in there and like spend a ridiculous amount of money.
I was trying to get you in my section. They wouldn't even let you in. You had to buy a bottle.
Yeah.
They wouldn't even let you in. It's my club. So I'm usually like able to do stuff. No, they were like, absolutely not.
That didn't surprise me, honestly, because...
And actually, I got you in with only a bottle min. Like, I thought I was going to have to do at least 2 bottles. So
That's good to hear. I actually didn't remember how many bottles we had. But so in LA, like Clout is such a big thing that people don't care about that as much, you know? So I just kind of expected that. Like, does Clout matter when it comes to a
Miami,
club?
no, money matters. So the reason why rich people love Miami is because you can buy your way into anything.
Right.
In LA, you can't really do that. You have to know somebody. That's where the social capital is really important. I was saying social capital is better than financial capital. In LA, it's definitely better than financial capital. In Miami, you get the facade that financial capital is actually better, but it's not. Because you're buying your way into things, nobody actually cares about you.
Right.
Everyone just cares about your money.
What's the most expensive bottle you can get at a club?
It's not about the bottles, it's about the parades. So that's the thing. A lot of people don't understand all the stuff that goes into a club. They just think, so this is good for any dude who's never been to a club. Basically what it is there's a table minimum. So that's how much alcohol you have to buy, minimum. You will get charged it regardless of if you spend or if you don't, okay? From that table minimum, you can buy different packages of things, okay? So it's not about what's the best bottle, the most expensive bottle, right? You can get a Clase Azul Magnum. It's the big, beautiful white and blue bottle.
But has the bell on top?
Yeah, it has the bell on top. Like, that might be $6K all in for that bottle, but the bottle doesn't actually matter. What matters is the parade that comes out. What a lot of people will do is they'll text me like, hey, what parade do I get to shut down the club? Because that experience, I never understood it until I started working in this industry. And now I'm like, fuck, I know what a good parade looks like now. And what that is basically the more people that are involved in the parade, and the more stuff comes with the parade and the more setup, the more layers there are to the parade, the crazier the amount of money was that was spent. And if it's not spent, it's almost like a Rolex where there's certain parades that only certain people who are big spenders at the club can get. You can't get them unless you spend X amount of dollars at this club. And people don't realize that shit. So then when I have girls out and I have a guy who's got like that $100,000 tab and he gets the 7K, I forget what the package is called, but he gets the 7K parade and they bring out the palanquin with the girl on the freaking thing and they put like 3 signs up and they stack the signs up and they bring the ace of spades with like the crazy like golden thingamabob and they have like 10 girls. The entire club gets shut down. They play this crazy music and like literally all eyes are on them. They shine all the lights on the thing. They don't realize that that's not even possible to purchase unless you've spent a ridiculous amount of money at that club. The girls have no concept. They're just like, holy shit, this is wild. This is the most crazy shit I've ever seen. But they have no idea that that literally costed that guy over $100,000 like of rep.
Is there anything that costs like $1 million of rep?
Oh, I'm sure. On those big nights, like the John Summits or whatever, like there's like tables that are $100,000 mins. When you go out on those big nights, every parade is wild. So in order to up that, every single parade is like that $7,000 parade. So
it's like people trying to outcompete each other.
Yeah. There's one parade at Live, and I don't even know what the package is called. I've seen it only one time with these crypto kids, and I'm pretty sure they spent over $200,000 in one night. And that wasn't my guys. It was someone else's guys. And literally what they did was they have this like at Live, they have like this big staircase that goes down to the dance floor.
These conversations have kind of made me question everything I thought I knew about investing, saving money, or retirement. Growing up, I was taught, put your money in a 401k, get a Roth IRA, and invest in the S&P 500. But what I've realized recently is things are changing fast. Crypto's becoming really mainstream, the S&P barely outpaces inflation, and I'm the guy that was investing in it for the past few years inside of his retirement account. That's why I was so excited when I met the guys at I Trust Capital. They let you invest in gold and cryptocurrency directly in your IRA, which I didn't even know was legal. And if you have an existing Roth or 401k, you can transfer it over for no extra cost. You get all the tax advantages while getting to invest in assets that have way bigger upside and aren't tied directly to the dollar. With just a small 1% transaction fee, you can buy Bitcoin, gold, even Fartcoin with a tax advantage retirement account. I'm currently in the process of transferring my accounts over to their platform, but if you guys want to do the same, go to jackneel.com/itrust. Anyway, back to the podcast.
And they brought out people for every layer of that staircase with all different shit, The entire thing was Clase Azul. And then they brought like this fucking massive like sign set up. I've never seen anything like it. The entire club shut down. They shut down not just for the walk down, they shut down for the entire walk around to the back section of clusters so everybody could see everything. They pushed through the entire dance floor. I've never seen a parade like that in my entire life. And it was probably like 3 to 4 minutes where the club was just the music and all eyes were on that table. I've never seen a parade like that. To this day, never seen a parade like that. Wild shit.
When you see someone spend $200,000 in one night at the club, do you think it's worth it?
I mean, these guys have those crypto kids have no concept of money, right? Most of those guys, what they did was they bet on Fartcoin before Fartcoin went crazy. And they became, in literally a matter of like 5 days, became 100 millionaires. You know?
That's true.
So they have no concept of money. They have no concept. And then the guys who come from like family wealth, they don't care. It's just another expense on their credit card. Like they'll drop $100,000. They don't care. Their parents see it. They're like, oh, I just had a good night at the club. Okay, cool. Like nobody cares. Then the e-com guys, fuck it. They print that every month. You know, they had one wild night out. They're having a crazy time they want to spend. They do it. Who cares? They're going to cash flow next month anyway. So the info guys, same thing. Like all these guys have big cash flow and they just don't. Like it's just a business expense to them. They're taking their partners out. They're going out. They're just doing a wild night. Cool. Write it off. You know?
I guarantee too, people are more willing to spend on those types of parades because of social media. Like I couldn't imagine someone buying that in the 90s.
So the old money guys, they take no videos, nothing. They want nothing on camera. The info guys, they do. The ecom guys, no. The crypto guys, they do, but they have no following on social media. So like nobody ever sees it. So the only ones that matter is the info guys.
If I was buying something like that, I would hope I wouldn't want to film it, you know?
Yeah. Like TJR is a great example. Why has TJR never filmed a bottle parade? Because he doesn't buy bottles. He spends no money at the club at all.
Interesting.
And he's an info guy.
Has Clav ever bought a bottle?
Clav buys all the time.
Really?
Well, he'll pay for it, but he's not actually the one buying it, right? Like we have to put it under a different name. He doesn't really drink. He just like shows up there. It's more for the optics and stuff and also to get him in because end of the day, like it's a liability to have someone stream at the club. It's a liability for multiple reasons, right? You have people getting really drunk. You have clients that don't want to be filmed, like those old money clients. You have stuff like that. So I have to set it all up. So, and the club has to set it up. So he's got to pay to get that shit set up. And then I have to put the girls at his table that are cool to be on stream too. So while he may be buying the bottle, he's not actually buying the bottle. He's not drinking the bottle. He's not consuming the alcohol. He's just doing it because that's the only way he can get into the club. He has to buy something to get into the club so he can actually do what he does to make money. So yeah, that's a good example of like, if he went to LA, he'd probably just get it all for free.
You would think. I think at this point he would. I don't even know if you can stream at a club in LA. Can you?
I don't know. I know you can't.
I'm shocked he's been able to stream in Miami.
I set it up. The only time we had an issue was when they overrode me and put in Andrew Tate for the fucking HH shit. Before that, I was able to stream with Clav all the time in the club. It was not a problem at all.
Where were you at when they played the Kanye song in the club?
My table next to them was a 22K table.
Oh, right, you were at the table next to them?
Yes. And my clients did not want to be on camera. And sure enough, I'm telling all the camera guys, face that way, face that way. Because I set it up. I usually put them in the back. So we don't have to deal with this problem. And then they're just dumb. The club owners, they're French. They're just like stupid. They like don't, there's certain things they don't understand that are like not good in America. And they just like, they're French. Like they're just.
Oh, was a French club promoter?
No. The owners that put him in and overrode that booking, they're French guys. The version of PC in France versus PC in America are two different things.
Right.
Like you can make Hitler jokes in France and like, it's not like France, they don't really give a fuck. Like people just say whatever the fuck they want. And in America, that's like, whoa, you can't do that. But the French guys don't know that. So they just like are wild. And they've also never dealt with social media the way that they're dealing with it now because of me, and also because of all these streamers that come in. They never did that before.
Right.
So they don't really know what's like acceptable and what's not acceptable. So it's not that they're bad people, they're just dumb, So with this.
That's interesting. I had no idea. I was shocked that was even able to be
and
played in the first place. Yeah.
That main clip that was featured all over everything. You see my two clients in the back And they're just like, they didn't even realize that the song played. They were just like having a great time. They didn't realize. I had some crypto guy in the back too, spent 20K or like 12K or something and had a fucking table run, bought the bottles, got the bottles and left, you know. But usually when Clav books at the club, I set the whole thing up. I make sure it's all clear. You know, obviously he can't be drinking. There's like a lot of things that cannot happen. So I have to make it all work. Wow. You know what I mean? And so he's got to pay for that to happen. So
I'm curious
spent a lot with me. Yeah.
About Clav in general. So it feels as though if you're someone who's on social media a lot, that he's one of the biggest streamers in the world, and you see videos of him getting recognized, followed around in Miami. Yeah. Like from your experience working with several different types of celebrities, several different industries, like, do you think anyone is more popping than Clav in Miami right now?
The thing is, there's different niches, right? Like Clav targets a very young demographic. And the club also if he went to live, no one would know who the fuck he was because it's just an older demographic. Palm Tree Club, same deal. No one would know who he was. But Vendome is a much more younger audience. Most people like freshly graduated college, right? So, and they're here for their girls' trip or whatever. You don't really get that many bachelor groups that go to Vendome that much, or bachelorette groups, you know, so 30s. You don't really get those type of girls.
Who's the person that you've seen people freak out about the most?
Like in Miami?
Yeah.
Parker Lanosa comes out sometimes. A lot of people know who he is. They won't say anything to him, but they're always like, is that Parker Lanosa?
I don't even know who that is.
Okay. He's a like Italian dude. He's
Is he a football player?
No, just like a big Italian dude. Very famous on TikTok. You know who was really big at one point in New York, but hasn't really transferred over? But he came out of Miami and all the girls freaked out.
Was it an influencer?
Yeah. Oh, what the hell is this guy's name? My best friend actually looked exactly like him.
Was it like Vinny Hacker or something?
Vinny Hacker.
Yeah.
He came out one time in Miami and all the girls lost their shit. I remember that night. The Love Island guys, they freak out over the Love Island guys.
But do you see it as like social media people are like more famous in like today's world than like mainstream like actors and like artists and stuff?
For sure.
Really?
Because the thing is, the cult following is much easier to build when people are constantly seeing your face and your branding. Right? Same thing with me, right? I am promoter Nate. Everyone, like I walk down Lincoln Road and be like, oh my God, that's that promoter. Right. You know, so it's just easier to build a cult following because you're constantly rehashing in their brain. Whereas like a movie you watch once or twice or 3 times, and maybe you can see clips of the scenes and stuff, but like you don't really remember, you know, Leonardo DiCaprio, for example. Like you're not, like the younger generation barely knows what he looks like, I'm sure.
Seems like a life hack to get famous in your town is just like make your username the name of your town and then your first name. Yeah. And then make content about the town you're in, and like suddenly everyone knows who you are because the algorithms are that good. You know, like I'm sure you're following. I mean, you're not the most followed person we've had on this podcast, but I'm sure every single person in Miami sees your videos. You know what I mean?
My favorite part is when girls land in Miami, they start seeing my videos and they reach out to me. So I have my assistant. I actually like make sure he's extra staffed on Fridays and Thursdays and Fridays, because so many girls fly into Miami and they're like, yo, I've seen your content. Like I want to come out with you once they've landed in Miami. It's like so funny. The other thing too that, so I also am starting this sort of coaching program where I teach people how to build short form content that creates an audience like that, because I've done it several times now. Like it's not just Miami promoter Nate. I've done this so many times and it's very repeatable. It's actually it's not simple, but once you learn it and your brain is trained for it, you can rip short form content on anything.
Would I know your other content? Like what were the other niches and like how big were those pages?
My accounting page was huge. I had a Nate's accounting page. If you look at my TikTok and you check all the comments, you'll see people, aren't you the fish guy? Aren't you the guy that did the accounting page? Wait, didn't you used to have that podcast with that AI guy? Like people will comment.
You had a podcast with an AI guy?
It was basically like I had the head of AI from Microsoft on my podcast. I used to have this podcast because I used to have a staffing company. All right, long story. But basically the clips went absolutely viral because there was stuff that he was saying that was just like, whoa, like people didn't think about. This was before, you know, ChatGPT really like took off.
This is so interesting. Yeah, I rarely have anyone on the podcast that, I mean, this is kind of something I've done as well, just like helping other people in different niches and then doing a bunch of different niches myself. Like I've done true crime, I've done finance, I've done podcast, and like it really is the same stuff over and over again. Like, what do you think Like, what's your strategy for going viral on social media?
I personally, so I don't like long form. I think like this podcast setting, like we're not going to get a crazy amount of views on this, but then the short form from this is going to be crazy. You know what I mean? And that builds our brand more than the actual long form. And so what I found is like, how do you weaponize short form content? Okay, look at what everyone else is posting. Look at the lead funnel that you want to create. How do you bridge the gap between what people are creating that's actually successful, and then generating a crazy lead funnel? What I found that was really successful for generating leads in the promoting space was my guy, Artine, who brings 30, 40 girls a night. He's a filler. He started posting videos about salad, like eat your salad. You're fat, eat a salad, eat a salad. And the girls would go nuts. Girls would FaceTime. I'd be in the car with him, driving him somewhere, and he'd get FaceTimes from girls like, yo, I saw your shit. It's so funny, so funny. Eat your salad, whatever. And I was like, okay, that's cool. Then there's another promoter named Sue, and he would post these videos that were like, sort of like these like club memes to some extent, where like it's like you just spent $7,000 at the club and the girl you like is talking to some other dude in another section, like funny shit like that like kind of gets you like whatever. And then I used to see this other guy named Leon Atlantis who would post these stupid videos where he'd like bump hands and then open it up as like a condom or something like that. And so I saw all these things and I'm like, okay, what actually generates leads? Like what actually funnels leads? So first I knew the only way you get the wealthy spenders, you have to have attractive girls. So eat your salad, it's good. But what if I just straight up say, if you're not attractive enough to be in the club, I'll just tell you. What if I just show girls getting denied at the door? What if I just bring a doorman on and the doorman goes, if you don't look good, get out, you know? And I just make this whole fucking thing where now it creates this artificial scarcity of the club. The reality is you don't even have to be that attractive to get in the club. I'm sure you saw there's some tables you're like, what the fuck? Wait, if you come early, even on a busy night, you can probably get in. If you're unattractive, if you're early and you're on the line, you can probably still get in. But then what you realize is the echelons that happen inside the club where the best table actually has all the hottest girls. And then you have everyone else. You have trash everywhere else. Again, social media killed the club. It never used to be like that. It actually used to be all hot girls. But a lot of girls don't know that, right? And so they just assume the only way I'm going to get in is if I'm attractive enough. And I only bring really attractive girls out. So they see the other girls they're with and they automatically, their brains get turned on to competition. And so I kind of knew that from the psychology aspect. And then I just took what other promoters were doing that was successful and I just ripped it to make a really good lead funnel.
I want to break down what you said a moment ago. You said that you would basically post about the fact that don't hit me up if you're not an attractive girl. And I think a lot of people who don't have access to your demographics and are men might assume that just guys watch your content. And they might assume that maybe Clavicular, just guys, incels even watch the videos of him saying a girl has a recessed maxilla, you know? But like, do you have a lot of female followers?
So I'm the only dude that I know where I post a story and I get more girls hitting me up than guys. Like significantly more. I get 90 to 95% girls hitting me up because I've trained my stuff so much that if you're not spending, don't hit me up. And if you're not an attractive girl, don't hit me up.
That's what's so fascinating about this. I realized Clout's audience is 50-50 and I was trying to think about it. And like, do you have the answer to this question? Like, why do girls like that content?
Yeah, because they want to feel pretty. They want the validation.
They want to see a guy shit on other girls sometimes.
You, okay, what is the biggest emotion that sells? Think about this. Think really hard. The biggest selling emotion, what is it?
FOMO, scarcity.
Close. FOMO is getting close. Scarcity is getting close. They're all wrapped into one thing.
Insignificance?
No. Anticipation. What is going to happen next? Clav on stream is the most awkward motherfucker. But it's because he's so awkward, everyone wants to know what's going to happen next. What's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? What's he going to say next? Who's going to interact with him next? The girls want to know, am I pretty enough? Am I going to learn if I'm pretty enough today? Am I going to find out if I'm pretty enough today? That's why they keep watching.
And that's why they message you.
That's why they message me. Am I pretty enough? Am I pretty enough? I want to know if I'm pretty enough. And then when they come out, they want to know, okay, what do the other girls look like? Am I going to be at the best section? I don't know. So then they want to come out and find out. They find out they're either at the best section or they're not. And they're like, wait, what? I have to tell girls straight up to their face, your friends are ugly. Get hotter friends. You'll be at the best section. And the girls don't even judge me. They almost respect me for it.
I asked Clav, I was like, what's the most annoying question you get asked on, like in the street? And he's like, people asking me for ratings. And I just assumed in my head that would be guys because I know that was his original audience, but I'm assuming now it's probably girls.
Yes. Anticipation. That's the number one emotion that sells. And so most of my content is geared around anticipation. What am I going to say next? What am I going to do next? If you notice, my content gets wild. And what I'm really good is being oddly specific with things that people can recognize. Like, for example, what I was saying before is like the border of Mexico. My table is like the border of Mexico. Everyone's just trying to jump over. You can understand what I mean by that. You know, I'm not even trying to be racist or anything like that, but you understand the depiction of what it looks like in your head, right? You can relate to that. I say that shit on camera for a TikTok, and everyone's fucking dying laughing because they all understand what I'm saying. But then all the girls, it's creating anticipation in their head. Like, am I going to be at that table, or am I going to be the one jumping over? You know. It's so interesting. And then I get girls coming up to me all the time and they go, am I a Miami 10? I'm like, bitch, you're not at my table, so probably not. You know, like, but I don't want to say that to them. So I'm usually nice. I'm like, you're good.
Dude, you're a master at branding. It's not many people, like a lot of people are good at going viral, but a lot of people aren't good at getting branding or good at branding for outcomes, like getting leads actually.
Yeah.
And when I first saw like a video of you and Clout together, I was like, damn, this looks like a typical Miami promoter. And I was like, wait, who is this guy? And then I look into it and like, I hear the voice that you use and I'm like, oh, this is perfect marketing. What's the one thing that can instantly get you banned from every club in Miami?
What do you mean the one thing? Oh my God, there's so many ways to get banned in the clubs in Miami. I didn't actually think there was so many ways to get banned from the clubs in Miami until I saw it.
Really?
You don't realize how much other shit happens at the club. Like everyone just thinks, oh, you bring the girls, you bring the clients. Very easy. No, it's not. There's like a million things that go into that to get you instant ban from the club. Okay. You try and fight a bottle girl. That will get you banned from the club.
That's happened.
I had a girl do that. I swear to God. We're at the section, best section of the club, beautiful girl. It's her birthday. And for some reason, she got fucked up and she decided, I'm going to swing on the bottle girl. And she started swinging on the bottle girl. He just fucking escorted. Banned.
What else have you banned people for otherwise?
Oh, I had a girl that was like a kleptomaniac and she would just steal people's shit. And then it was like dumb because you can't really steal shit in the club because you just like, what are you going to do? Hoard it in the corner and then just like leave with it or whatever. But anyway, apparently this girl would just like take things and just like run out to her car and like put shit in the car or whatever. And then basically her car was getting towed. And that's how we found out that she did it. Because I look in the car, I'm like, why are there all those bags in the car? So they made them unhook the tow. Basically, I paid for it. It's like $80 or whatever to unhook the tow. But if it gets towed to the lot, you're paying like $500. So whatever it was. So I paid the $80 mostly because I wanted to know why the fuck there were so many bags in that car. And then I go in and we open it and the girl's like freaking out. And she's like, wait. And then she almost wanted the car to get towed. And I was like, no way. And I open up this fucking door and there's like 3 or 4 bags in there. I'm looking inside. I'm like, this is Janessa's thing. What the fuck? And I'm like, bro, this bitch was trying to steal shit from girls in the club. Banned. I swear to God, she was trying to steal stuff from girls in the club, running out to her car. And if it wasn't for the car getting towed, I would have never caught it.
Right.
Yeah. So lesson learned, girls, don't bring expensive shit to the club. Stop trying to look cool. Stop trying to bring the Louis Vuitton bullshit. Bring your ID. Bring a little bit of cash, $20, $30, $50, put it behind your phone like this. Okay? That's it. That's all you need. Don't bring anything else.
What's the song that you get most annoyed by when people play at the club?
Oh, we in Miami turning up another notch. I hate that song.
Do you like Party in the USA? Do you like the ABBA song that plays?
Oh, I love that ABBA song, okay? Gimme, great song. I don't know, for whatever reason, all the girls like want to sing it and they all suck at singing. It's just so annoying. They'll sing Party in the USA, but usually they're like dancing and singing at the same time with that Miami song, whatever. They're usually just like swaying and they're all like belching. And I'm just like, stop.
Life hack I learned is I have like a playlist on my phone where every single time I just see everyone in a club or bar go crazy about a song, I'll just add it to that. And then like that song or the playlist is just all the songs that people like went crazy too. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know, maybe you'll hear the YMCA play. And it's like, oh wow, people haven't heard that song in a while, so that's like pop into play right now. Or like, I don't know. You remember that one song, I Spy, or like the Fetty Wap songs?
That's a great song.
Like songs like that, if you play them and people have a crazy reaction, it's like, okay, this was overplayed, but it's not overplayed anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just a good way to
Lil
cater
Tecca.
music.
Yeah, like go away what you want. I want them to book Lil Tecca so bad.
Yeah. Are there secret underground clubs that celebrities and billionaires go to?
There's a lot more private events than clubs, to say. The clubs are usually like actually dinner spots where you have to have a membership. So for example, Mila Lounge, if you go downstairs, there's like a whole separate thing that you have to have a membership to get into. Again, you can buy your way in. So House used to be exclusive. It's not anymore. There's different like membership type clubs that have that. But I would say there's more events that are very private. So for example, the Nylon Party, like that's an event that's like exclusive, like invite only, that sort of thing. There's no amount of money that can buy you in. Just need like that. Well, actually, I guess there are, because I've heard people buying nylon bands to get in. So I guess there is some amount of money that you can get in. But yeah, it's events. Like that's where it's not like clubs, like exclusive clubs. It's events and then these dinner spots, basically where they do that.
But there's not like tunnels and shit.
No, there's a tunnel for Live, but it's not like, it's not like this secret tunnel. It's not like Avatar. No secret tunnel, none of that shit.
I know that stuff is maybe existing in LA, that some people use so they don't get like recognized in public. But I was curious if it was a thing in Miami. Would you tell me if there was anything?
I would, but there's not.
Yeah.
You know what? The reason why there's no tunnels is because think about sea level.
Right. Which guy would you get most in trouble for not letting into the club?
Most in trouble? Any big spender.
Like, I guess more so if someone like tried to walk in and you kicked him out. Like, is there like a guy that just instantly walks in?
Interesting. So the doorman, so what a lot of people don't understand about the club is that the doorman controls who gets in. Like really controls who gets in. Miami has really good doormen, like really good doormen. Some of them have egos and power trips, but like they really do control that line.
Right.
Even as a promoter, even as a top booker, I don't fuck with that line. I don't touch it. Doorman's the only one that can let you in. Only one. It's like a known thing. They have security out there. Like it's very set up. There is no person that can just walk up and the doorman just goes, right this way. No dude. Right? The only way that would happen is if they're a constant big spender at the club and they know them personally. Obviously, if Donald Trump walked up, they're letting Donald Trump in. But I'll give you an example. Lenny Hochstein came. No one, like, who are you with? He was with one of my big spenders. No problem, got let in. But nobody went and looked at Lenny Hochstein and was like, right this way, sir.
Right.
No. Even though I don't know how much he's worth, way too much money. And one of the biggest party throwers in Miami. No one was like, right this way, sir.
Have you ever seen a doorman get like yelled at for not letting in a billionaire or something?
Yes. It happens all the time. That was one of the things that other promoters thanked me for, was that they can tell girls are ugly right to their face now. Because I think this has actually dropped a lot since I came into the scene, but it used to be girls would literally fight the doorman like every night. When I was working for free, every single night. Right this way. What? Not good for the club. Not good. Ugly girls would get stopped. And there was this one girl that went crazy at Mona Club because she was denied from the club. Well, you're overweight. You're not attractive and you're overweight. That's why you were not allowed into the club. But 6 months ago, before I posted those videos, it was just like, why can't you let me in? Why can't I get in? And, it's because they're racist. Oh, because they're this. No, it's because you're ugly. Doesn't matter what your race is. You could be black, white, Latino, whatever the fuck you are. If you're attractive, you're getting it. But this girl went off, it's racist, all the shit. That video would never come out today. Why? Because I made that fucking niche. If it came out today, people would dunk on that girl. People would fucking clown her. They'd be like, have you not seen Nate's videos? Are you fucking kidding? Like, that's embarrassing as hell. That video would never come out.
Why do you think so many attractive women live in Miami?
Money. It's access to new money. most of these girls that say they want sugar daddies, they don't actually want sugar daddies. They want young, cool dudes with money. There's only so many of them. Most of them come to Miami. Why? Because you don't need the social capital here. You can just buy your way into anything. LA, you can't do that.
Interesting.
So for them, money eliminates all their problems in Miami. Every problem you could possibly have eliminated through money in Miami. In LA, not really.
Got it. So in Los Angeles, you would get maybe women who are interested in clouded guys. Miami, it's women interested in guys
With money.
that are good to take care of. Yeah.
Correct.
Interesting. How much money do clubs in Miami actually make in a year?
Okay, so I think of clubs like the stock market, okay? Every night you have a chance of making money or losing money. There are 5 days in the market that make the market for the entire year. If you look at the stock market in general as a macro thing, there are 5 days that make the year. If you're in the market for those 5 days, and those are 5 good days, you're going to make a shit ton of money for the year. Only those 5 days matter. Every single day is like a little bit up, a little bit down, a little bit up, a little bit down. And then there's 5 days that are just rockets. As long as you're in the market for those rockets, winner. And that's the same thing with the club. That's why I will never own a club, because every single day is a market's open and most days don't move the needle. Every day the club is open, they got to pay people. From what I understand, I don't know all the economics, but let's just say Vendome costs $20,000 to open. That means if the club does not make $20,000 for the night revenue, they don't even break even. So you have a chance of losing $20,000 every single night. Now on a Monday that's dead, you might only get $5,000 in clients. You lost 15 grand on a Monday. Why'd you even open? Just like you're in the stock market, why'd you even trade? Right? I don't want to be in that game. Not a fan for me. That's why I'll never own a club. But those big nights make the club. They make it, right? If Vendome just opened for New Year's, for Art Basel, for all those big nights, I mean, those nights they're printing. Those nights you're doing, they could do 150 grand for those nights. You can have 5 to 10 nights for the entire year that make your entire year.
If you had to guess what they profit in a year, like what's the biggest club in Miami, would you say?
Biggest Live. Live probably does 2 to 5 mil profit a year. That's it. It's not even that much money when you think about it.
I assume that would be more, but I would guess that there's bigger partnerships
a lot
at play.
of expenses. This is a capital-intensive business. Very capital-intensive business. We as promoters, we do them a huge solid. The good ones, not the bad ones. The good ones who book tables, we do them a huge solid because the cost of acquisition for customers for a club is tremendously expensive. The marketing, you got to get the girls, you got to get so the club promoters, they're paid to bring the girls. They get paid a flat, right? That's essentially their salary for bringing girls. So only they bring the girls, they get paid, right? And then if they bring tables, they get commission on top of the tables. And so the hope is that even if you bring the girls and you don't have a table, you're filling the club, you're making the club look better. So spenders want to spend more. So you're helping everybody else make more money as a club, right? And then when you bring the client, right, you get your little commission split. But the goal is that not only did you bring them there, you're going to make them spend more than they would have normally spent without you. And it's, again, because you're doing the hosting, you're creating that environment, you're really making the club. So yeah, that's kind of how clubs work. Now they have to pay a lot of people. A lot of people get paid. There are a lot of people on payroll, whether the club makes money or not, right? And so the club owners are fronting that risk every single night. There's one club in Miami that I know loses between $3,000 to $5,000 a night, and they have not been profitable since New Year's for a single night since New Year's.
How much does 11 make?
Oh, 11 prints. 11 is a printer. That one might actually beat Live in printing.
That's what I would guess would make the most.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a different business model.
It's different. It's different because you're paying girls to be there. They're strippers.
Right. How many girls are in your contacts as a club promoter?
So I have a CRM. I have over 11,000 girls in that CRM.
11,000?
11,000. And that doesn't count all the girls that follow me on Instagram that don't hit me up.
What CRM do you use?
No, I made it myself. It's just
made a custom.
I made a fucking killer CRM, yeah.
Does it auto link your Instagram DM contacts to?
No, because I don't need to. I do text automation.
Right. So you get their number and then it...
So I have a crazy system. Oh, my phone I turned off. That's right. I have a crazy system for this stuff because when you're juggling this amount of girls every single week, every single day, you can't afford to not have systems. And it's crazy that, for example, I started 4 months ago. Our team, the guy who brings 30, 40 girls, also another filler. Actually, I think he's 100% the biggest filler in Miami. I'm probably number 2. But he had to walk the beach from 5th Street to 50th Street every single day to rack up the amount of girls that he needed to bring to the club to fill. Like, that's what you have to do.
How did you get your first 10?
For me, modeling events.
So
I used to run these modeling events. But it wasn't consistent, right? People think, 10 hot girls that want to go out one night. Great. That's one night. Do it every night. Good luck.
Let me see how this is organized.
So basically, he had to walk the beach every single day. And he racked up that list. And now literally girls hit him up because he racked it up. He's been promoting for so long. Like every girl hits him up. So let me show you. Oh my God, I'm getting spammed with messages. Could I turn on my phone one time? So for example, I have all these lists, right? And all these lists are correlated with different things. My assistant runs a lot of these things now. The guy who comes out with me, his name is Diego. But basically, for example, so I have this modeling, for example, 7 girls in modeling, right? Inside of here, I have the Instagram name, followed by the number of girls, followed by the number under 21, because there's certain clubs you can't under 21. And then the tier. So this is A tier. And then are they a resident, yes or no? And then what's their first name? So every single contact is saved like that. And the reason why
A tier?
No, different tiers. I have A, B, C, D.
Based on how good looking the girl is?
Correct.
How many girls are in A tier?
A lot less than the other tiers.
Right.
But so all these girls are A tier. This is for a modeling thing that I'm doing. All these girls are A tier and their friends are all A tier too. Basically how it works is if you send me your friends and one of your friends is not that good looking, you get downgraded. The entire group gets downgraded. So I tell my assistant, he's been getting better at it, but if you have a group that has 5 pretty girls and 1 girl that's ugly, tell the girls, this friend is holding you back and get her to drop the friend because sometimes they will. But anyway, yeah, so I have that's how I have it set up. And then when I ever want to do the count, how many girls am I hitting? 2, 5, 7, 13, 16, 18, 20. So this is 20 girls on this list. So I know for this event, I have 20 girls.
Huh. And then do you have one for guys as well?
No, guys are clients. So it's pretty easy to deal with that. Usually I just make a group chat with all the guys that are coming out. I tell them what the deal is. Everyone knows the information. They don't double book with another promoter. Done. Problem solved.
What pictures do you ask for of the girls?
I need a full body picture. So this is something I have to tell my assistant, and he's really bad at this, is there's a difference in good pictures and good looking girls. Girls have gotten so good at editing, it's very hard to figure out who's a catfish, who's not. That's why I remember when I said it's easier to bring 30 girls than to bring 5. Because if you bring 5 girls and one of them's chopped, you're fucked.
Right.
You know? And you don't know because you're just getting pictures. I had one girl, we called her Auntie. She literally looks 25 in her pictures. Stunning, beautiful body, everything like that. She shows up, she's like 45. Well, why? And my client goes, why is Auntie here? I'm like, fuck my life. So we sent her to live, right? Because she edited her picture so well. Now, usually I don't get those because the younger demographic typically engages with me. But you get catfish all the time. Or sometimes they send me friends and they show up with different people at the door. And then it's like, okay. And then I have to tell the girl, I'm like, look, you're going to get in the club because you came on time, but you're not going to my section. Bring hotter girls. I'm like, this is not the girls you sent me on Instagram.
How many steps does a girl go through before she's actually at a club with you?
So basically what it is you reach out to me, you send me the pictures of you and your friends that are coming, you know the dates that you're coming, you fill out my list, I put you on a list, you have no idea which one you're getting, they all look the same, but they correlate with a rating. From that list, you fill out all your information, whatever, it gets pushed. The day that you're coming to Miami, we reach out to you with a welcome text. Hey, welcome to Miami. You know, what time are you flying in? We have this event coming out tonight. Just let me know if you switch your dates. My assistant will usually send that and the girls will reply. Then they say, oh yeah, I moved it 2 weeks, or I'm not bringing these friends anymore. I'm landing at 1:00 in the morning. I can't come out tonight, whatever it is. And then that's when we start booking them. Every day they're in Miami, we hit them with a text as early as we can get it out. We hit them with a text with the plans in the morning. And that's it. I don't book my list in advance ever, unless it's a super specific thing that I need to get done. So for example, this model list, I need them for something for Saturday, but I'm booking them now because it's a very specific event. But for the most part, I don't book until day of the girls. Right. So I tell the girls, if you're really attractive, I'll tell, like, if I tell a girl, do not book dinners, do not book anything, we will take care of you the entire weekend, that means you're really fucking hot, because that means I can put you anywhere. I can find, even if I don't have an event, I'll put you at another promoter's event. I can get you a free dinner. I can get you a free club. I can get you free yachts. I can get you, dude, one of my girls got a free trip to Jamaica. Like, guy flew her out.
What can a super attractive girl get in Miami?
Anything. Literally anything she wants. But she usually needs a middleman to make that happen and to make sure it's a safe transaction, because a lot of these dudes are expecting. She needs the guys that have a lot of money that aren't expecting. And a lot of times they wind up like doing stuff anyway, not because they're expecting, but just because it happens, you know, because a lot of the guys that I work with are actually pretty good looking dudes. They're not ugly.
Right.
Like, they're good looking dudes and they make money. So it's like, why didn't a girl want you, you know?
What's the craziest thing you've seen a girl get for free in Miami?
I had a girl with me. I swear to God, this happened. Like, I'm walking down Lincoln Road and I had 3 girls with me. And I'm into one of them and we're like chatting or whatever. And the 2 other girls are commingling, whatever. And this dude approaches them and is like, hey, I want to take you to blah, blah, blah. I want to take you shopping. And he literally gets a fucking Uber Black for all of us. And we go to Design District and we walk right into, I don't know what store it was, some fancy ass store. It's not even like a big name, but they have all the big name stuff. And literally buys her a $5,000 bag for no reason. And then we get ice cream after. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? I have no idea.
Did they talk to him anymore?
So the funny part was the dude got like a work call or whatever. And he was like, hey man, like, sorry, I got to go, but I'll get your contact for later. And they never spoke to anybody again. So that was it. I don't know what happened there, but whatever.
Do you think, I mean, I know this is part of your business model, but to put it in Looksmaxxing terms, like, do you think any of this is gesture, like buying these girls things? Or do you think it's just like, if you got it like that, you got it like that?
Michael Sartain's second guy, Tristan, he talks about the transaction being invisible, right? You have girls that aren't money chasers. Those girls, if you show an invisible transaction, meaning like there's not dollars being exchanged for time, those girls respond very positively to that, because the girls that want to have fun and they're not chasing money, as soon as you spend money on them, they feel awkward. They feel like they have to owe you something. They feel like they have to put out because you're buying something. They feel bad when you pay for them, right? Those are the girls that typically come out with me, the undercover baddies, so to speak. Are they as pretty as the supermodel, crazy, like wild, done-up girls? No, but they're way better to deal with. They're way more fun, way more quality relationship. When you think about the private jets or all those like random shit, most of those girls are not going to say yes to a private jet unless they're comfortable with the dude, or they're super money hungry clout chasers. So I don't see those a lot. That's just not what I typically deal with. It's just not the type of girls I deal with, and it's not the type of clientele that I deal with. Can they do it? Sure. Do they do it? No. I actually talked to my clients, a bunch of my clients today about, hey, why don't we all book like a private jet, fill it with some girls, and go out to some island, whatever it is, Bahamas, whatever one. And they're all like, yeah, I'm so fucking down. So down. That'd be so fun. Right? But I suggested it to them. They weren't like, yo, put girls on my jet.
Right.
You know? And the reason why they're cool to do that is because they know the girls that I bring out are fucking awesome. And if they went on a private jet, they'd cry. They would be like, what the fuck? They'd be like, no way we're doing this. This is crazy. Right? Like, they would be so appreciative because they're just not exposed to that money. And those girls are so chill with me that they don't think that I'm expecting them to do anything, because I don't ever do that.
Why do so many guys say it's a red flag if a girl goes to the club?
Because they don't realize that the club girls and girls are the same pool. They think club girls are different from regular girls. They're not. They're all the same pool.
Break that down for me.
Yeah. Like, there's no difference in a club girl and a girl that you met at CVS. Zero. That girl at CVS might be at the club next week. That girl at the club might be in CVS next week. Like I said, I have girls that are like Cornell educated that come out with me. Like finance girls, like Cornell educated girls. I have some girls that do OnlyFans. I have some girls that, they're waitresses at random places.
Or I guess what's the biggest misconception you think guys have about women at the club?
They think they're all whores, but they're not. They're just a bunch of girls. Not my fault you talk to the one that is a little bit of a promiscuous girl, you have no riz, so you get the one with the most promiscuous girl.
Where do you think this negative association comes from, though?
I think a lot of dudes have never experienced the club with me, so they don't know.
Right.
And they never will because they don't have enough money to do it.
How about girls that go to bars every weekend? Do you feel like that's a different thing?
Girls going to bars every weekend is actually worse because the ratio is different.
Right.
Right? When you go to a bar, you're asking to get picked up by a dude because it's usually 1-to-1 or multiple guys to one girl. The ratio is bad, especially in Miami. Go to any of these GA places, the ratio is awful because all the girls are getting sucked into the clubs. That's not the reality of girls that come to the club is they want to get with dudes. Because if they did, they would wind up like those two really hot girls that ran away from my table to go flirt around with a bunch of dudes and they're never coming back with me to the club. They're like, go to a bar, go somewhere. You'll have more fun at another place. If you want male attention, like massive amounts of male attention, walk down the street, go to any other bar, go anywhere else. The problem is you're not going to be curated with the type of quality that you get at the club. Not every dude you talk to is going to be proven to have money. If you're at my table, you're proven to have money because you're spending to be at that table. You have to have money. There's no way you can't.
So do you think a guy can find his wife at the club?
Sure, for sure. In fact, I actually know a guy who did. So there's another promoter, his name is Jesse. He married this girl, Leah, who's also a promoter. But she wasn't a promoter at the time, but he met her at the club. And now they're married happily. And now they both promote.
It's interesting. Yeah, you're the first person who opened up my mind to this idea that people could go to the club and actually maybe find someone that they made a long-term relationship with.
Yeah. It's one pool of girls. In fact, I have one client who literally told me, every time I go out with you, if I have a follow-up date with any girl that I meet at the club, I will pay you. That's what he literally told me. Because he's like, dude, you saved me so much time. He's like, it's so easy. I go to the club, there's 40 girls there. I like a few of them, get their number. We have a great night, whatever, nothing happens. And then a few days later, okay, let's go on a date.
So would you prefer to date a girl that goes to the club or doesn't go to the club ever?
Again, it also depends on the club. It depends on the night, depends on all this stuff, right? I think I love the girls at the club. They're fun. They have a great time. They interact well socially for the most part. They usually, the really attractive ones, know a lot of successful dudes. They know how to vet the dudes.
Is that a good thing too?
Yeah, for sure.
If a girl knows a lot of successful guys?
I would much rather have a girl friends with a bunch of successful dudes than a bunch of cheap, brokey moochers. And again, remember, the pool of girls at the club is everything. You can't look at it as the club girls. You get everything. How
about a girl that goes to the club every weekend?
Every weekend? No problem at all. I have clients that come every weekend too.
Every day?
Every day? I don't really see that. I have some OnlyFans girls that come out almost every day. They just have a great time. They just love being around a bunch of hot girls. It's just fun for them. Because think about it, they get no social interaction in their day-to-day, right? They just do OnlyFans. Only social action they get is some.
You're providing the same value to them of vetting out the people that they can be with. Right?
Correct.
That makes sense to me.
So
it's super fascinating. It's probably one of the most controversial opinions because you never hear anyone club girls are cool.
Yeah, because most dudes have never been to the club. And also, to be fair, a lot of other promoters do suck. There's a lot of really bad promoters who bring trash girls, they bring trash clients. So, but again, the club is a pool, right? You can't think of it as this is all you get at the club.
Nate, if you were a 21-year-old guy in a new city, let's say not Miami, not Los Angeles, not New York, how would you dominate that city? What would be your first couple of steps?
So I did this in LA actually when I went to go with Owen. So first thing that you want to find out is where do people go that are not from that city? Okay. Because that's the last place you want to go. Because you're not going to, who are you going to meet there?
Right. Where are the tourist spots?
Where are the tourist spots? Avoid those. Don't go there. What I typically will do is, so at this point now I have girls in every city. So I'll just ask the girls, hey, I'm going to LA at this time. What do I do? And they just tell me. Clients also, same thing. They'll just tell me. But
But if you had zero connections, maybe a dating app?
No, I wouldn't do a dating app. Let me think about this. Because I did it in LA, but I also had the social media. So people knew me from the social media for the dating stuff. I honestly would probably start with the nightclubs. That's probably what I would do. I'd find all the nightclubs and I would go and scope their line. That's what I would do. Who is going into this club? Is it the type of demographic that I like? Is it, people that I want to surround myself with? Cool. Let's interact with those people. That's the first place I would go. Because the girls who are getting denied from the line, those are the ones that you already know they have a backup spot. They're going to go somewhere else. So where do you go after that? You know what I mean? Maybe that's the after party spot and it fills early. So for example, Booby Trap here in Miami is an after party spot, but they fill it early with uglier girls so that the place looks full. And then later on the night, all the really attractive girls come out of the clubs and now they want to go to Booby Trap because there's usually an artist or something there.
Did you go to college?
Yeah.
Where'd you go to?
Queens College in New York.
Huh. Were you popular in college? Like, did you have a bunch of people that you know?
I ran a organization. Well, I ran two actually. I ran a cybersecurity club and I also ran a finance club, basically. Shout out to Alpha, and Isaka. But yeah, so I ran those two clubs. I wasn't popular, but I became very well known because I ran those clubs. So anyone who wanted a job out of college, like they would basically come to me.
Right.
And then I would set them up with like different networking events and stuff. But that was basically what I was known for at college.
As the most well-known promoter in Miami, or one of them, what's your secret to networking so well? Like, is there one framework that you've learned from someone that's been particularly helpful?
I think a lot of people spend a lot of time on small talk. That's kind of a waste of time. Instead of doing small talk, think about unique conversations that you can have that aren't that deep. So, hey, how are you? Boring. I noticed your bracelets. What are those? Are those like chrome hearts? What are those?
I think they're Van Cleef.
Van Cleef. Yeah, see, I don't know anything about Van Cleef.
Yeah, it's like a girly brand, but
it's a girly brand.
I think they're cool.
So people call you gay for wearing them?
My guy friends do, yeah.
Your guy friends?
Yeah, I would remember this conversation instantly.
Right.
Huh.
See how easy that was?
Interesting. Why'd you pick the bracelet specifically?
I don't know. Just thought about it.
Huh. So I'd ask you about your earrings.
Yeah, sure. So I was gonna fuck around and I was gonna do. See, the thing is, I get too many comments on this now, so it's not even a good conversation starter anymore. But I was gonna wear one cross and one Star of David, just to fuck with people. But I'm actually Jewish. I used to wear the crosses because it matched the chrome hearts that I was wearing. But now I have some Israeli girls that come out with me and they get so mad at me when I wear chrome hearts. And I'm like, dude, it's just a brand. But
it's interesting. I wear a cross on one ring and an astrology fucking thing on the other, and people are like, it just two different demographics that people ask about it. You know what I mean?
But what's interesting is it's a good conversation starter for people who like the earrings are a good conversation starter for people who are in the know, right? Like all the Jews come up to me and they're like, dude, I love your earrings, and no Jew is ever going to say anything bad to me because of the earrings. Right. So that's a good conversation starter with that demographic, just like yours. Dude, the astrology girls probably love you. I hate them. Those are the girls that go to space. I hate those. I hate that shit. Nah, I'm good.
They go to space. That's so funny. You have 11,000 contacts in your phone of women. You're one of the biggest promoters in Miami. What truth about the world can you only learn through women?
Dude, the mob mentality, I keep talking about mob mentality. The mob mentality of women is actually insane. Like, it's insane. Like, you're talking about the 70 girls that like gravitated towards whoever the artist was.
Yeah.
I guarantee you 15 of those 70 girls probably didn't know who the fuck he was or cared. But just because all the girls were like rushing, now those 15 want to be a part. And it only magnifies. Just like, why do people like Miami promoter Nate? Why? There's literally nothing that I do that's different than any other promoter. Well, now I did, but when I first started, there was nothing different that I did than another promoter, except for the fact that girls wanted to know if they were hot enough to get in the club. But you can find that out with any other promoter. You don't need me, but they're all like obsessed with me for some reason. It's a mob mentality, whatever it is.
Interesting. Have you learned anything else about women? Like, you seem to me like someone who actually enjoys the company of women, which is crazy to say, but that's kind of not the case with guys. Like, a lot of guys don't even have girlfriends that they don't sleep with. You know what I mean?
Well, no, a lot of girls do get annoying to me because I have to deal with so many of them. They just get annoying, but not because the particular girl is annoying, just because there's so many of them and each one of them is a little bit annoying. So what truth did I say? So dudes will spend money when they're having a really good time. Girls will be promiscuous when they're having a really good time. That's what I've seen. I've seen a lot of girls. So I have personally slept with girls that haven't had sex in years that are like, this is the first time I had sex in years. And like, I can't believe I did that. And are they regretful? No. But at the same time, how is that possible? You broke up with your ex 2 years ago and you haven't had sex. It just allows me to understand that most people do not give a positive experience to women. Just as men complain that women are just using you for money or using you for clout or using you for whatever they're using you for, a lot of women aren't getting a quality experience with men. And I think a lot of that comes from men not being taught how to aura farm, right? I'll give you a great example. There's a restaurant called Bowley in Miami. It's worldwide, but in this particular Bowley, I know everybody there. I know the chef, I know all the servers, I know everybody there. I have a great relationship with that spot. When I walk in there and I bring a girl, if I was just doing a one-to-one dinner, not doing promoter math, just I was going to pay for it. I would walk in there and everybody would greet me. Every single person. What's up, Nate? How are you? Oh, this is your lady. Oh, she's so pretty. All this stuff. I walk in, the door lady is like, oh, Nate, good to see you. Oh, you're another beautiful girl. They treat me like I'm absolute royalty. And then I walk in there, I pick whatever table I want. I go right to it. The girl doesn't realize that while she could go to the Poppy Steak dinner with the dude with the briefcase and shit, she's coming with me to Baoli, and for a fraction of the cost, the experience is unforgettable. And I think most dudes don't know how to create that unforgettable experience through non-financial means. And that is a missing skill in men today. Now, when I go to Poppy Steak, I know all the guys at Poppy Steak too, right? So I can do the briefcase and I can get some wild shit with the briefcase and like do some cool shit. And so when the dudes that are going to Poppy Steak that want to spend that kind of money go to Poppy Steak, I can make it even better than what a normal person can do at Poppy Steak, which is already crazy. And those little moments, again, are what girls remember. When I do promoter math dinners at Poppy Steak, where one of my clients is paying for all the girls, that experience at Poppy Steak is different from just going to Poppy Steak by yourself. And I can make it especially special because I know a lot of people that work at Poppy Steak, and I can get them to do certain things that ordinarily somebody who just placed an order for food and spent the money wouldn't be able to do.
Men assume that women are attracted to the money they're spending and how people are treating them because of the money they spent, but it's really they want to observe guys being treated a certain way, and they want to feel as though they didn't spend any money to be treated that way.
Right. The transaction is invisible. And also, like, you can do this anywhere. You don't have to have money to do this. For example, the Miami Beach Garden, okay? I love that place. I know everybody there. I know the guy who shoots all the iguanas. I know the director. I know the girl who does all the gardening there. I know the guys who do the fish stuff there. I know everybody. When I walk in there, it's free. It's completely free. I walk in there, and literally every single person that works there comes up to me. Oh, Nate, how are you? How's everything going? And so when the girl's at the garden, she doesn't give a shit about the plants. She wants to take her cute pictures by a little red bridge or whatever. But then the guy brings out the cats that live at the place, and he brings out food for me so I can feed the cats. And I get food to go feed the koi, and we're petting the koi, and that one's named Daisy. And the girl's like, holy shit, like, this is amazing. Like, I'm in fucking Princess in Wonderland, right? And she's just getting, led as a man to woman, being led. The experience is completely free, costs $0. But that girl, I promise you, had a better time with me than she did with that guy that spent $10,000 at Poppy Steak, plain Jane Poppy Steak, without promoter Nate making it awesome. A lot of men think it's about the dinner bill. Oh, I spent $1,000 at dinner. But the reality was the check being taken care of and nobody knowing how much anyone spent. The transaction was invisible. So men have fun when the aura is right. Like, a lot of dudes want to feel part of a bigger picture. That's why a lot of successful men start companies, because they don't want to be under somebody else. They want to own and have control over their experience in life, their business, everything like that. And so when the table is in that, it's the river is moving downstream and they're in the river going downstream, they feel like they are the top of the world. They feel like they created this. They feel like this is the pinnacle of their experience in life. This is why they work their ass off. And so for them, the amount of money that they spend that night, they don't give a shit because it's so fun. The last thing they want is obstacles. It's a combination of things. The girls having a really great time makes a big difference. Like when girls are shaking ass on each other and they're having the best time and they're taking pictures and shit and they're cracking jokes with the guy who's buying all the stuff and they're fucking, one girl spills a drink and they start laughing about it, like that shit. The clients love seeing that stuff happen. Like they think it's just so fun. They're just happy to have happy girls with them, And then it gets really crazy when the girls start making out with each other in the section and you're just like, what the fuck? And it's just like two girls just making out with each other in the section. Like, all right, like cool stuff like that. Sometimes you got a joint going around and like everyone's taking a puff of the joint and just like super happy. A good song comes on, everyone sings it, just little things like that just rack up throughout the night. And then pretty soon, like you add a little bit more alcohol to it, everyone's just having a fucking shit show of a night. It's so fun,
So men spend money when they have fun. Women become promiscuous when they have fun.
Yes. But the two things are not directly connected.
So women having fun is a big part of men having fun. But what actually makes the women have fun, you think?
It's they don't have concerns. They feel safe. They have no concerns. They have people that they like with them. They feel like almost the herd mentality works in positive ways where, a couple of girls are having a really good time. Even if a girl's kind of having a midnight, she'll still have a really good time because all the other girls are having a good time.
If you were going to bring 5 girls to this podcast studio, I almost asked you to do that, but you said at the very beginning you already could, and I believe you. But how would you make them have a good time? Like, how would you curate this environment? Because we're kind of having like an intellectual conversation, but like, what would you do differently?
I don't think it would work on this podcast. I think the environment's bad. It's almost like me and you are having dinner, right? Most dinners are just straightforward, like guy talks to girl. What do you do for work? Oh, I'm a part-time model and nurse. Oh, cool. What kind of nurse? I work in peds. Okay. Like fucking so boring.
So give me an example. Maybe you had 5 girls and we finished the podcast. Like, what would you look around in the room like to?
Oh, we would just have like the funniest time. I would take pictures with them, like over here. I would have like one girl sit like a sexy librarian sit up. Okay, you're gonna be Jack Neel's assistant today. I'm gonna put her up on the thing, right? If I had girls here and we were doing like a more fun podcast, like I think. I don't really like Fresh and Fit's podcast. I think it's like a bad thing, but I would be willing to do like a fun podcast, like not intellectual, but like fun, and just have like 5 girls here, because once the logical brain is switched off and it becomes an emotional conversation, it can be absolutely hilarious. I can get whipped cream and just start shooting it in girls' mouths. Like I just do wild shit.
Once the logical brain switches off.
Yeah. Once the logical brain switches off, anything can happen.
And
when you eliminate that it takes a little bit of warming. You have to like kind of warm them up to that freedom. What I found is that the ball rolls for me so well now because there's a lot of girls that have come out with me before and they know what to expect. So they automatically have a good time because they're with me. And then that creates other girls who never been out with me before to now have a good time automatically.
Right.
So it just kind of like it's dominoes. And so once they get warmed up and they have a good time with me, they feel more comfortable and they can just do whatever the fuck they want. I know when I'm cool with a girl when she just starts telling me all of her drama, everything. I don't even want to hear it. Like, why are you telling me about this stuff? I don't care. I don't care who you slept with. I don't care that you were dating this dude and, he fucked you over. I don't give a shit. I literally give 0 fucks. But then they just yap to me. They tell me everything. Oh, I don't like this girl. She blah, blah, blah. I'm like, never invite her out. Okay. I don't give a shit.
Women love guys who play, which is why women love athletes. They play football. Women love artists. They play music. I think creating a playful environment is super important. I think so many successful guys are bad at tapping into that. You seem to be someone who's able to conquer both of those things.
Yes.
Like, how do you balance that? Would you say you're a fairly emotional person and like you try to intentionally be emotional and vibey?
I would say, yeah, I definitely am a little bit more of an emotional person, but I'm also very strict and logical. It's hard to be emotional. It's hard to have a really good time and let loose. when you're worried about different things setting up. I've gotten so good and my systems have gotten so good. I've done this so many times where my logical brain can switch on and off so fast and I know exactly how to get things done. So I don't have to really like think that much. I just know how to make things happen, how to get things set up. Like, for example, there's a bathroom line, right? But if I have a girl that I know is like a top tier girl and, you know, the client's like her, she's really setting the vibe of the table and she wants to go to the bathroom, I'm just going to pay for her to cut the line because I don't even think about it. It's just automatically done. This girl's making the table. She's cutting the line. So I had that happen. I dropped $100 one night just to get 5 girls to cut the line so they can get back to the table faster. Because I already know those 5 girls are making the table right now. If they leave, every second they're gone, the table vibe comes down. And I need those girls at the table because I can't keep the vibe of the table because I'm running around doing other shit, right? But most promoters don't think that fast. You know, most promoters can't, you know, take a shot and get everyone super lit and then at the same time walk girls to the bathroom, get them in, come back, get everybody super lit, make sure the girls come back. Like they can't do all that. You know, again, is another lost skill from men. The same thing happens for these dinners or for another event, for the garden, for whatever, where I don't have to worry about any of the logics. Nothing. If it starts raining, I know exactly where to go. If, you know, if it's too cold out, I know exactly what to bring. If the weather's nice and it's not too hot, I can bring the blanket. I have different things that I can set up because I know the environment and my brain has become so resourceful that it's easy, right? And most dudes don't do that. They don't spend the time to take care of all the little details. A girl wants to be led, but being led is not get in the car, we're going to this place. It's get in the car, we're going to this place, and then you show up and you're treated like fucking royalty. That's being led.
You do everything in your power to not kill the vibe.
Correct. Everything to remove all the obstacles so I don't have to think and I can have as much of a positive, amazing experience as possible.
It's super fascinating.
Yeah. And this is where I was saying, right? Spending money and having a good time are not the same thing. Most dudes feel like they have to spend more money at the club in order for the vibe to be good. But the reality is that's false. That's false. It's the opposite. Usually it's guys are having a good time, so they spend more money. They're not spending more money to have a good time. They're already having a good time, so now they spend more money.
Right.
The girls don't require the money to have a good time. The girls aren't requiring the money to be promiscuous. But there's usually a lot of money being thrown while the people are having a good time, and nobody knows it. Nobody has any idea. If I asked 10 girls at my table, how much do you think the guy spent? They wouldn't even know where to start. $500, $1,000? I don't know. They have no idea how much money. They have no concept. The transaction's invisible. Same deal with why college parties in these ratchet, frat, disgusting ass places, some girls will say that the best time in their life was in college. How is that possible when the place absolutely sucked? Everything absolutely sucked. There was no money being moved there, but the girls had an amazing time. Dollars does not equal the experience. Okay? And most dudes don't understand that dollars does not equal the experience. They don't. Like I said, I can give a girl the best dinner of her life at Baoli, which is way less expensive than Poppy Steak. And another dude could take her to Poppy Steak and she'll have a super mid experience, even though the guy spent 20 times what I spent.
It's about the invisible transactions.
Yes.
Are you sober?
For the most part. There are some nights I have certain clients that I'm so cool with that it's like it actually is fun to go drink with them. And if they're my only clients for the night, no problem. But, you know, most of the time I have newer clients or I have clients I have to make a really good impression with. I haven't really figured them out yet. So, you know, I'm not going to drink. Last night I didn't drink. Most nights I don't drink. Yeah.
How many nights a week do you work?
7.
So you're out at the club every single night.
Because I have so many girls, I get paid.
Yeah.
If I don't show up, I'm losing money. What's the point? Like I literally have girls every single night. 25 girls on a Tuesday, dead Tuesday. Not a special Tuesday at all. Dead fucking Tuesday, 25 girls.
Would you say you're mostly sober like most of those 7 nights?
Yeah.
Or like one shot maybe for fun?
Yeah, I mean a couple shots or whatever just for so everyone's happy. But yeah,
why do you think so many guys feel like they have to drink to talk to women?
It's the same reason why guys feel like they have to spend money to have a good time. You know, they don't really understand that vibe. They don't have the aura. They don't radiate the positive experience. And a lot of that comes from they never got the wheel turning. They never tried to interact with people who can be helpful tools for them to experience a positive environment. Did you ever think when you're walking in and the guy opens the door for you, oh, thank you for getting the door for me. actually, I think I've seen you before. Did you used to go to that coffee shop every week? Yeah, I did. Oh, I used to see you at that coffee shop. Oh, I'm guessing you also work in blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I do. Oh, that's so crazy. Did you know so-and-so? Yeah, I do. Boom. Now you're friends. You get each other's number. Maybe one day you hang out. If you do that 100 times, I guarantee you there's going to be a chance where you walk into a dinner one day and it's a very important dinner. You have to make a good impression on a girl, a business partner, whatever. And some dude comes up to you and goes, that's my guy from the door. And they know exactly who you are. And now that guy is connected to somebody that you didn't even realize. And that just saved your whole dinner or whatever.
Interesting thought that you have. It kind of makes me think that maybe the reason guys feel like they have to drink at the club is because they don't know anyone.
It's cope. Because they lack the social skills.
If they knew everyone there, it would feel like
Now-
a family reunion. And you don't have to drink at a family. I mean, sometimes you do, but
Right.
not always.
So what's super interesting is the bigger issue that I get is not that most of my clients are antisocial. It's that they're afraid to talk to people because they don't know who they are.
Mm.
Not because they're like scared or anything like that, but because they have extreme amounts of money. They are very well off. And if they socialize with the wrong person, they could get their time wasted. They could be sold something they don't want to do. They could be, wrapped in with the wrong crowd. It's too risky for them. That's why coming to the club is so good with me, because it's curated. They already, before my clients even come in, we're sharing a table today? Yeah, I got like 3 Italian dudes, super cool. They own a designer brand, blah, blah, blah. Oh, cool. They send it to each other. Oh, what's this guy do? He owns a matcha company. Okay, cool. Send each other stuff. Pretty soon they're in a group chat. They're all chilling. They go out together like, fuck, dude, I love these guys. And now every time they come back to Miami, hey, is that guy coming out tonight? We loved him. He was awesome. Right? And you never know who meets who. But these very successful guys are usually very careful with who they interact with. One thing that I say as a club promoter too, I say this all the time, if you let in dog shit, you're going to be filled with dog shit. Okay? That's why I don't bring unattractive girls to the club. Even though yesterday, for example, 25 girls, my list is 35. I could have gotten paid more if I brought 10 more girls. My table last night was stacked. I had the hottest girls in the club, bar none. People were coming up to me that work at the club, and they're just like, dude, how do you do this every single night? It's always the baddest bitches with you every single night. And the reason why is because I don't sacrifice a couple of dollars to keep my quality. I always keep my quality.
More money in the long run. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nate, what's the most important moment from your childhood for us to understand who you are?
I have a lot of not so good memories. I try not to think back to my childhood. My childhood was very miserable. I think what I realized was that my parents were not good parents. They did not teach me the life skills that I needed to learn. My dad, though a super nice, very caring guy, never creates a relationship of authority. So people walk all over him. People may be friendly with him. People are nice to him. He's a very sweet guy, caring. A lot of people say nice things about him, but nobody's willing to jump in front of the car for him. Nobody's willing to jump in front of the bus for him. Nobody's willing to take the extra mile, this extra step for him, because he doesn't create the authority around his social circle. My mother, on the other hand, is so crazy. She's just like, she's got a lot of mental issues. And she just repels everybody. Repels everybody. And every interaction that she has is not normal. So people don't want to be around that. She lacks social skills, but she thinks she doesn't. And so it's very embarrassing to be around somebody like that consistently. You feel you're very concerned. Like, you want to talk about an experience where I'd be logical the entire time, going out with my mother. That would be a logical experience the entire time, because I could not switch my emotional brain on, because it's impossible. She would blow everything up. So my father too, to some extent, but
Are your parents together?
No.
But
yeah. So that is my upbringing. I can't specifically think of a memory.
Do you think your father was particularly good at leading your mother?
No, not at all. My father is not a very good. He's not like that. He's a very good guy, but he lacks the authority. That's how I can say it, right? Like, I create that authority. A lot of people are like, oh, he's fruity, he's gay, whatever. But at the end of the day, like, I put my foot down.
Right.
Like, no one's walking all over me. It's not happening. Right. And people respect me for that. And that's why my social circle is really strong. Even some of my clients, I've told them no. Like my really big clients who I love and care about a lot. Oh, I want to do this yacht today. Not happening. Sorry. Why not? I don't feel like doing it. It's not going to be a good experience. And they're like, okay. And they're like, we'll pay you. Like you'll get well taken care of. I don't care. It's not happening.
Have you always been like that?
Yes, but when I worked in finance, you can't be because you're everyone's bitch.
Right.
So that caught me into a lot of trouble. I think that's a lot of the reason why I got laid off. I knew what was happening during that time was not going to be in the benefit of the company in the long term. And I spoke out about it and I tried to make things happen so that it can work. And anyway, people didn't like that. The thing was, when I worked in finance, anything that was positive, somebody else took the credit for. Anything that was negative, I got blamed for. So it was not a very conducive environment to be successful at all. Now, I think that happens with everybody in finance. They work their way up and then they eventually make the millions. But fuck that life. It was very, very, very miserable. And I could never speak out. Speaking out in finance, like, even if you're right, and sometimes I was wrong, sometimes I was right, but it never results in positive anything, They don't want to hear it, right? You're everyone else's bitch. So was I always like that? Yes. But in finance, I got beat down really bad.
What does heartbreak teach you?
In my perspective, it was things that I knew, but became so much more clear to me. And I wasn't willing to take that jump to go actually change my life. And then I did it because at that point, the money didn't matter, right? It didn't matter how much money I made, didn't matter where I was heartbroken. I didn't want anything. Everything made me upset. So what do? The only thing that I could possibly do is take the bull by its horns and change my life completely. And that's what I did. So, I don't think it really taught me anything. But it did free up my brain to get out of the golden handcuffs and run.
Think money is that important?
Not at all. I think social capital is far more important than money. Financial capital comes from social capital. And it's not just being famous on Instagram or anything like that. Like, that's social media, I'm talking about like social capital where you walk into a place, people know who you are. You shake hands with somebody and they're introducing you to their friend, and you are the most highly regarded person in the room because you've been introduced. People want to leverage you for your social capital because you have so much pull with people in real life. That to me has way more power than money. If tomorrow everything got wiped out for me, completely clean, I had $0 in, I had no social media, I had no phone, I had nothing. I know for a fact within about an hour to 2 hours in Miami, take the public bus, whatever, I will find somebody that can help me. And they'll take me in, they'll connect me, they'll get me everything I need. Done. I don't have to worry ever about being homeless, ever. Even if I was a convicted felon at this point, I can come out of jail and people would house me. People would take care of me. People would give me a job.
So you're a big believer in network is probably more important than net worth.
Yeah, but I don't want to call it network because network is, what's more important is people know you. Not who you know, people who knows you. It's the most important thing.
And how deeply they respect you as well.
Yes.
Because it's like, sure, you might be able to text Elon Musk and he can read it and maybe reply, but like, who's the guy that texts him and Elon FaceTimes him instantly?
Yes, right? Dave Grutman's a great one. Like, every time I text Dave Grutman, he just hates texting. He'll just FaceTime me. All right, Dave. I see his smiley ass face. Always smiling whenever he's on the phone.
What's a conspiracy theory you 100% believe is true?
I'm not so my mom's a conspiracy theorist. Like,
really?
Big time. She thinks the government's out to get her. There's a period of time where she was about this like thing called Y-Gig. It's like some like Wi-Fi thing they updated. Now it's like fucking up all our brains or
something.
Like
the 5G
or something. Some bullshit, whatever it is, right? The chemtrails in the sky. Like, she's all about that stuff. Fuck, man. I don't know, man. I've heard every single one of them. I'm just like, cool.
Yeah.
Move on. You know?
What can you do about it?
It doesn't matter to me. I think the biggest thing, forget about conspiracy theories, what's actually happening right now. I think we have like a huge problem in this country where nobody knows how to talk to each other anymore. I think that's like probably the biggest thing, where everything's through corporate or everything's through social media and nobody knows how to actually talk to each other face to face, and Miami, you have a lot more alpha people here. So like when a girl walks down the street and she's pretty with her friends or whatever, some guy will go up to her and talk to her and try and raise her up or whatever. In New York, not a chance. Right. In LA, not a chance.
Never.
No one will go up to you. Everyone's too afraid to say something, And Miami, I feel like a lot more people here, while a lot of people are doing social media down here, and a lot of people are cool having FaceTime on the phone, they're also very cool having FaceTime in person. And I think a lot of that comes from rejection, where in these other states and other locations, you face rejection from standing outside the crowd. In Miami, you're welcomed for standing outside the crowd. So no, that's another reason why I moved to Miami, is because I'm standing outside the crowd. I can't do that in New York.
Yeah, the people being social thing is probably the biggest problem ever. I went on my first podcast and it was interesting to think about like what was worth me saying. And I basically just made the claim that everyone is so like literally everyone these days is like their own version of incel, basically. And that like you're trapped in this algorithm and like you think you're right about all this stuff and you think the world is like this certain way. And then when you go out and speak to someone, it's like you can't even speak the same language with them unless they have your exact algorithm.
Yep.
And like the algorithms, even like if you and I became really good friends and spent a lot of time with each other, we'd start seeing the same stuff on our pages just to make sure we could be social with each other.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know how people can fix that. I think in person, I think that's why streaming is so popular. I think that's why you are like the antithesis of like the chronically online person of people want to hear what it's like. This guy who spends time with people every day,
right.
People are watching Clav because you can't AI live stream someone fucking in person. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
I think that's another reason why these OnlyFans girls come out with me, is we talked about this before, is I don't get a lot of them, but the ones that I do are very, very loyal. And because they have no social interaction besides their work, and everybody who knows them in person for the most part is dudes trying to get with them because they're super hot. A lot of the OnlyFans girls are some of the hottest girls I know. Like they really are like the sexiest girls I know. And so every dude is trying to flirt with them because they're hot, they're used to this shit from OnlyFans, and they have no social, there's nowhere to socialize, nowhere. So they come to the club and that's where they can meet pretty girls who are normal and don't do OnlyFans, So.
Do you think OnlyFans girls are entrepreneurs?
No. There's one exception, Farah Khalidi. She's the only one that I think is an entrepreneur, and maybe KJ and Gerstein, but she's not really doing OnlyFans anymore. She switched to TikTok Shop. But besides those two, no.
Why is Farah?
Because Farah created an entire brand around what she does, around podcasting, around her personal weaponization of things that she says. That's a brand. That's why when she went to Substack, she was very successful. That translates anywhere. You don't need OnlyFans.
She's on Substack. Wow. That's interesting.
Very successfully. Yeah.
I don't know a lot about Substack, but I've been hearing that's a place where a lot of like intellectuals go to like watch each other's work. Is that like a paid thing?
Yeah. I mean, you get paid to post. You get paid to engage.
Wow.
Yeah. And people want to see what you're saying. It's almost like an intellectual version of like Twitter, but like more exclusive.
Do you have to pay for every Substack or are there free posts on there?
I don't really know how it works because I don't have one, but I know Farah is doing very well in there. And I'm not that close with Farah. Me and her had a lot of fights. We were friends for a while. We had a lot of fights. I like her a lot. Hopefully we can become friends again. I did do some not very nice things to her, but she is one of the only OnlyFans girls that I can solidly say deserves every cent that she earned. And that's after me constantly saying that she didn't deserve the money. Now, after meeting a bunch of other OnlyFans girls, she 100% does deserve the money.
That's interesting.
Yeah, but most of those girls, those OnlyFans girls, they're not business owners. If they were business owners, they'd be printing way beyond what they're making, and they wouldn't be doing OnlyFans. They'd be doing, like, Farah does no nudity, right? All of her nudes are AI nudes that people make for her. Like she, and any girl who has that brain to be successful like that will do it another way. Shelby Sapp, for example, outprinted Farah, no OnlyFans, right? And then all the other girls that I know that are really good at social media, they do TikTok Shop, they do TikTok Live, they stream. No nudity, prints. And they make way more money than most of the OnlyFans girls who are even mid to larger creators because the management fee takes so much money out of it.
2 questions. Nate, what's the worst piece of advice you've ever received?
That men need to be providers to women. In today's day and age, they don't. Women can get anything they want. Anything they want. An attractive girl, anything they want. In fact, it's gotten so bad that there are certain promoters who look at my Instagram following and find girls that are attractive and reach out to them and hit them up for the exact same events and try and steal them from me. A girl that I'm inviting on a yacht for a day, if it's a busy yacht day, she's getting invited on 5 other yachts. That's why she's asking how big is the yacht, right? Attractive girls that are on social media get anything they want, anything, to a T, exactly what they want. Whatever dinner they want, whatever bag they want, whatever flight they want, anything they want, they can get so easily. So easily. And I see it all the time. I'm fighting with other promoters and other wealthy men for attractive girls to show up to my stuff all the time. And other promoters have to deal with that as well. The only thing that girls cannot get access to whenever they want on demand is a guy who they trust to think for them and lead them. Where they can switch off their brain and trust that they're going to have a great time and they don't have to do anything for it.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Chase excellence. Don't chase money.
Tell me about that.
I don't do things half-ass. Don't swim down too many lanes. Chase excellence. Do one thing really fucking well and then find somebody who can do it really well and teach them how to do it even better. And then delegate and get good at something else. And then put the 2 things together. Now you have an offer that nobody else can do. Our team, he is the biggest filler in Miami. That guy, he showed me a screenshot. He clocked 301 girls one night for an event. He was paid, the only promoter paid for an event, clocked 301 girls. What the fuck? Who can get 301 girls to an event? How? I don't even know. But he did that one time. He usually brings his average nights are 30 to 40 a night. Quality, of course, to get into the club. And I worked under him for 3 months for free. He was trying to pay me every single day. He's like, dude, let me pay, because I was bringing really quality girls out from the modeling events. Just wasn't that consistent yet. And I would tell him, no, I'm here to learn. I'm here to have a good time. I'm here to learn. And so I would just host. I would learn. I would ask questions. I would learn. I would host. I would learn. I would ask questions. I would bring girls. And then pretty soon I knew everybody at the club. I knew everybody there. And then when it came to, this guy, the owners were like, this guy's been in the club for months bringing girls and nobody knew. And I talked to the door lady and she's like, yeah, we want to hire you. Like, come on, what are you doing? And so then that's when I got my list and they gave me a very high flat and then they upped my flat even more. And then they upped me to top flat. Now I'm at the same flat as our teen at the same club, very, very well paid. And it was because I chased excellence. I didn't stop until I knew I could fill what was offered to me, the opportunity that was offered to me. And once I knew that I could fill the opportunity offered to me, that's when I decided to take money for it. And it's the same thing with big spenders coming to the club. Even if they're a big spender, if there's a night that I think they should just not come out, because I don't think they have the crowd, I don't think the music's there, whatever happened, I will tell them stay home. A lot of promoters will take anything to get that business.
What's the best piece of money advice you've ever received?
My dad, I'm Jewish, obviously. My dad was a big money saver. I don't think it's necessarily about saving money, but I think you need to always monitor cash flow in and out. Always. Because if you can't you need to know your burn rate. When I jumped ship from finance to come here to do promoting, I knew I wasn't going to make money for a while. I had enough money to burn for the next year. Not working, if I didn't spend crazy, for an entire year, I could be good. And I know in a year, I'll make money in club promoting. Easy. But I was actually starting a laundry detergent company at the time. I was going down that path, and then the economics didn't really make sense for me to blow that up yet. It will make sense soon, but that's another thing I'm going to work on. But again, the bridge isn't ready yet. So that'll be a year, 2 year down the line project probably. And maybe, you'll see me with a big laundry detergent brand as my next big niche that I blow up. But money advice is really just monitor your cash flow. You have to. I never spend beyond my means. I never did. And I honestly, I don't get that much joy from spending money. The only joy that I get is removing obstacles. So for example, my VA, he probably overcharges me, to be honest with you, but I don't really give a shit. He resolves a lot of obstacles that I have. And so even though I think he costs more than my monthly burn rate, like my personal monthly burn rate of me spending my rent, my car, my everything that I need to pay for every single month, I'm pretty sure he costs more than that. And I'm okay with doing that because I don't want to deal with it.
Right.
It's removing an obstacle for me. That VA has gotten me laid more than anybody else in my life.
Well, everyone, this has been your guest, Miami promoter Nate. I appreciate you coming on, brother.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, this is the Jack Neel Podcast. Where can people find your stuff?
Miami promoter Nate on TikTok and Instagram.
Awesome. I appreciate you, brother. See you guys.